Hi there and welcome into College of the Canyons as we get ready for SCFA football week number 2 here on SoCal College Sports and the Cougar Sports Network. The College of the Canyons Cougars 5th ranked in the state of California and the Southwestern Jaguars. Hi everybody, I'm Matt Robinson alongside Jesse Munoz as always. Welcome in. We're so happy to have you along for our first week of college football here on the Cougar Sports Network and SoCalCollegeSports.com. And we have a pretty interesting matchup here today, Jesse. Two teams kind of in different spots. The Cougars 1-0, won last week, 44-13, convincing fashion over Antelope Valley. Southwestern, a loss, 41-31, but trying to come in, maybe upset a little bit, shock a little bit of the world in the Southern California Football Conference.
Definitely, Matt. You know, they made the trip up north. That's a long bus ride, no matter how you slice it. So you got to figure that they are going to be amped up and ready to compete here in front of this lively crowd. Cool skies and a full moon tonight here.
I know,
Matt.
it's a weird weather it's weird weather today. It's like Midwest weather. We're not used to it here in Southern California. It's Midwest hot instead of SoCal hot. Well, the Cougars this year 5th in the JCAB poll, 6th in the SIA poll, so right in the top portion of the state, trying to qualify for the playoffs again for the 4th straight season. They've made it the last 3 years. Last 5 seasons, they've been to at least a bowl game, so back to 2016, trying to make that next step, try and get back into the SoCal championship game.
Absolutely. That is always the goal for head coach Ted Iacenda and his staff. It is to win the conference championship, advance to the state playoffs, and contend for a state and national championship. So once again, you know, the Cougars are going to have their work cut out for them as we get into the schedule. There's some tough opponents on the docket. We'll see what Southwestern brings to the table here tonight.
The Cougars were an impressive team last year, transferred over 30 guys out to NCAA Division I and II programs, so looking to do the same this year. We've got some different players, some different bodies. Pretty good quarterback, Chaden Perry, bounced back from Georgia Tech, went to Sierra Canyon, so he's a local kid. Last week didn't have gaudy numbers, but didn't need to. Ran 3 first-quarter touchdown drives.
No, you're absolutely right. Didn't have the off-the-chart numbers, but I tell you, I really liked what I saw, especially that first quarter coming in, his first action here with his teammates in this type of setting. And you know what? Had some nice throws, orchestrated the offense nicely, and put the Cougars in business for the rest of the game.
The defense was impressive as well. Last week had 3 interceptions. It's something we've kind of been missing. We've seen that bend don't break defense from the Cougars over the last few years, but now we might have that stopper defense that we remember from 2004 and beyond. That defense that just kind of grinds in and makes sure you can't get any yards.
Yeah, very eerily reminiscent of that squad. Just talking to defensive coordinator Dan Corbett and his staff, I know they are very excited about just the level of athletes that they have. D-line, linebacker, and then the back 4. You know, a lot of guys that can fly around, make plays, make hits, and that's going to bode well for this team.
On the other side for Southwestern, as we said, 0-1, lost to Grossmont last week, 41-31. This is the first time in 14 years they haven't had head coach Edward Carberry. He retired. Dianoco Monarez taking over in his first season. Kind of an unknown for Southwestern this year.
Definitely, you know, and a proud tradition built there, and like you said, a changing of the guard. Last week they were in that ball game the whole way, Matt. 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns by the Griffins was the difference. And like I said, you got to figure that they went back to the drawing board, looked to clean up some of those mistakes, and are going to be primed and ready to go here tonight.
They've been on a little bit of a downward turn since moving up to the National Southern Division in 2018. Programs begun to sink a little bit. They finished 7-4 in 2018, but they went 6-5 in 2019. Of course, nobody played in 2020 except for Antelope Valley, so that season's kind of a wash. 3-7 last year, so the downturn comes after 9-win seasons and 4 of the previous 5. So Coach Monarez looking to turn things around for them. As we said, we don't know much about them. They had some trouble on offense. They had some trouble on defense. We'll see what they pull up. We're going to step aside for just a moment here. We'll come back in a few. We'll have the opening kickoff here from Cougar Stadium. COC Southwestern when we come back. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back in as we're nearly ready to go Southwestern and College of the Canyons. You see on your screen right now, COC football, trying to raise a little bit of money to help out our student athletes. We're trying to get to our goal of $30,000. If you got your phone out, take a picture of that QR code. It'll take you to this webpage. Any amount, we'll take it all. A couple of dollars here and there, just anything to help out these student athletes. They work so very, very hard. We're trying to help make their life a little bit easier on them in terms of some of the things that they need to take care of, like books and so on and so forth. As we're just about ready to get underway, Southwestern won the toss, deferred to the second half, so COC will start with the ball. So we'll get our first look here at home on the COC offense and Shaden Perry, as we expect him to be the starting quarterback here today. I don't see any reason why not.
Yes, sir, Matt. College of the Canyons going right to work here under Perry and company. And like I said, there was an explosive first quarter last week. Look for that trend to continue here as things get settled in and these two teams start to feel each other out here, Matt.
The Cougars last week, 465 yards of offense, right now sitting at first in the state in yards per game, which is interesting considering some of the other teams that had some big numbers out there in some of the lower division, but COC very good on the offensive side early on this year. Scored 44 points, which is fifth in the state. Obviously one game under our belt, so there's still a long way to go.
Well, you know what I like most, Matt, was it was a balanced attack. We saw the run game get involved early. Once that was established, you know, Perry was able to do what he wanted. And so, again, we'll see what's in store tonight.
So we are underway. Kickoff is to the far side of the field. The Cougars will take it at the 5-yard line and start to bring it back out. It's Calvin Littles bringing it up the near sideline across the 30-yard line before he's tackled by a swarm of Jaguars. And the Cougars will take it at about the 32, 1st and 10 for our first drive of the ball game.
Calvin Little's one of those guys that made a lot of plays for the Cougars last year, was an all-SCFA second-team selection. And Matt, you know, from last week and here tonight, he's already back at it.
Offensive coordinator David Banks down there in the middle of the pile getting ready to go. The Cougars will come out. Shaden Perry, the quarterback, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 12 of 19, very efficient last week. He'll start things off. 2 backs in the backfield to start for the Cougars here. Looks like it's Damon Banks and Samaj Freeman back there. They were the feature backs last week. As they'll hand off here on a pitch to the far side, it's actually for the Cougars going to be Zion Slade, and he'll pick up a good chunk of yards, maybe 4. It'll bring second down, and we'll call it about 6.
Zion Slade, another one of those athletic weapons that the Cougars have at their disposal, can line up in the backfield, can go out wide, make some plays for you.
And it's interesting, Slade listed as a running back last year, listed as a receiver this year, but in the backfield to start the game. Banks is the feature back now for the Cougars. As Perry will throw here on second down, swings it out to Calvin Littles, but scouted well by the Southwestern defense. In on the tackle, not able to get away for the Cougars was Littles, and the catch was Kyler DeCion.
Yeah, did a good job of just hauling that ball in and making sure it didn't pop loose, because as soon as it touched him, the defender was on him.
Puts the Cougars behind the chains here at 3rd and 12. DeCion with the tackle, his second tackle of the season, only had one last week. So we'll go on 3rd and long for the Cougars here on their opening drive on their home field. Perry to throw. Wants a big one. Looking over the middle. Nearly intercepted. In and out of the hands of Ulrich Nucky. And it'll bring up a 4th down.
Oh, a good break there for the Cougar offense. You know, you still ended up having to punt the ball, but that would have been dangerous field position for the Jaguars. And so you go back to the sideline, try and regroup, recover from that one.
And I'm not sure who Perry was throwing it to. He had a crossing route there. It was Littles along the backside. It looked like he was maybe trying to find Josh Smith, the tight end, as well, and he kind of just threw it between the both of them on the replay. So we'll see Ty Morrison for the first time today, back to punt for the Cougars. Morrison is a very good punter, very good kicker last year for COC. Had 6 for 6 on extra points last week. Missed his only field goal attempt. It's a low-line drive kick taken at the 30-yard line and returned just a couple of yards by Southwestern. Looked like it was Andrew Kirk maybe on the return. So we'll get our first look at the Cougar defense here. And the Southwestern offense on the other side as the Cougars go 3 and out. For Southwestern, Ethan Harry, the quarterback last week. We expect him to be the starter again this week. Had a decent game, 12 of 17 for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, but also threw 2 interceptions. And you know the Cougar defense wants to get to him early.
Yeah, COC with 3 interceptions last week. So, again, like we talked about, guys that can swarm around at all levels of the defense and make those plays.
Harry underneath center will hand off here on 1st down. The back is David Jazzo. He gets a big chunk, about 7 yards. It'll leave 2nd down and 3, a good hole for him to work that time.
It looks like he tries to go airborne here for those extra yards, and big Justin Horton right there to meet him. So that's a decent pickup, but I'll tell you what, you don't want to go airborne too much against this Cougar defense.
So Jaza with the first carry. Southwestern with a big 8-yard chunk on first down, and they'll go 2nd and 2 from their own 45-yard line. Harry in the shotgun. High snap will hand off. Trying to chug for a couple of yards and only able to get one, I believe, was James Coleman on the run. Actually, it was Jaza once again.
And again, a lot of bodies down there. I think I saw big J.Q. Ladson out of Canoga Park in on the stop. And so, again, a nice 3rd and short. We'll see what those big bodies can do here. Would love to get off the field and get the offense back to work.
And that's, I think, the Cougars' bread and butter this year. We've talked about the big bodies up front, and they've got a lot of returners, Ladson being one of them. And he's been featured in a number of different spots so far this year. So we'll go 3rd and 1. Southwestern in the shotgun once again. They fake a handoff. They're sacked in the backfield. They're going to call it a run, so it's a tackle for a loss as Harry was trying to look for a handoff and just didn't have anybody there.
And look at David Francis Jr. here just creeping up on the side, and it looks like everyone just forgot about him. The lineman pulls, and nobody fills that, and he's quick enough to get back there and make that play. You know, typically you say if the last guy in the end can make the play, then let him. And boy, did he make the play.
A nice tackle for Francis, who had one last week. And it looks like Southwestern going to opt to punt. Jacob Martinez is the listed punter, but it looks like it's actually going to be Julian Acosta back to punt for Southwestern. So a little change for them. Or it might be Logan Ransdell. Hard for me to see the numbers. Actually, it was Acosta. The punt is away. It's a bad punt. It bounces out of bounds at the Cougar 40 or 34-yard line, I should say. So CLC get the ball back. The defense does their job.
And that's exactly what you want to see. Again, a little shaky on the first drive for the Canyons offense, but you'd be able to get back there, catch your breath, you know, sit a moment in this humid atmosphere, collect yourselves, go back out to work.
Well, and you've got to think that is a factor here today, the humidity, the difference in the weather, because it's certainly something we're not used to here in Southern California.
No, and, you know, by the same token, College of the Canyons, you know, the mantra, nobody works harder than us. We train in this heat. We're accustomed to this heat. This is a different kind of heat, Matt, and so we'll see how they hold up.
Cougars will keep it on first down with Perry, and he's able to pick up about 3 yards. Got tripped up, coming up to get him.
And we already talked about Perry being able to settle down and make some of those plays, but that's the part we didn't really talk about yet, the ability to scramble, get those hard yards when needed.
Looks like it was Michael Harrington up to get him. So we'll go on 2nd down. Cougars in a little bit of an option set here. They'll hand off this time, run J.D. Sumlin, who had a big game last week, but he lost the football. Got it stripped as he was trying to spin off a tackle, and Southwestern gets the first takeaway of the ball game. A turnover by J.D. Sumlin on 2nd down and 8.
Well, look at this. The play starts great. There's a hole that a truck could drive through, and he's going for the extra yards, and it looks like somebody just got a hand in there and able to strip it as he's going down, momentum turning with his body. You know, he'll tell you that he should do a better job of that, and I think he knows it. But that's a tough play. Looks
like it was Michael Harrington again there for Southwestern, able to get the strip. So an early turnover after 3 and out. The Cougar offense having a little trouble early on. The defense going to be pressed back into service after a very short 2-play drive. Harry in the shotgun, 2 receivers out to each side. He'll throw here on first down. Throw to Cater Diop for a couple of yards. We'll call it 7, 6, so it'll leave about a 2nd and 4 here. Wasn't a strong throw, but it was right into the right spot.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. That ball took quite a while to get there. Just like you said, the positioning of the receiver allowed for that to happen, and then big Tylen Foster there with the takedown.
Harry will go back to work here on 2nd down and 4. The transfer from Mount San Antonio College was limited in his action last year throwing, and this one's picked off. Taken by Brian Snoke. He'll bring it back across the 50, spins off a tackle down to the Southwestern 45, and the Cougars have their best field position of the ball game with a big interception by Brian Snoke.
Brian Snoke, and he is hyped down there, ladies and gentlemen. Another one of those big-time Cougar defenders from last season, already making his mark on this 22 campaign. And there he is. And we might see the turnover chain make an early appearance here on the sidelines, Matt. That was a tremendous play to put his team back in business here.
4th interception of the season for the Cougars, and they go back to work with their best offensive field position of the day at the Southwestern 45-yard line. 3 receivers split out to the far side for Canyons. Just one in the backfield. It looks like it might be Sumlin right back in there. Actually, no, it looks like the Cougars have made a change in the backfield here, and it's actually David Banks back there. Perry to throw, over the middle pass, caught, picked up by Calvin Littles, across the 20, inside the 10, he'll take it to the house, a touchdown. It was actually Zion Slade for the Cougars. And a late flag.
Hold everything. That was a tremendous catch and throw. But we'll see.
You see some of the skill out of Zion Slade on the catch, broke a tackle. And they called a block in the back way deep into the play. It was right on the goal line. So it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The Cougars will get a first down out of it. I didn't see who they called it on. Did he say number 5? Because Zion Slade had the football.
I want to say he maybe said
it was
70,
14.
Okay. I did hear a 5 in there
I
somewhere.
thought I heard a 5 too. So it was against it was against Joshua Littleberry. So the Cougars will go 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line here. So it takes the touchdown off the board, but the Cougars in business in the red zone for the first time today. They'll hand off. Banks has a hole across the 5, spinning, still on his feet, tackled from behind at the 2-yard line, and he's just short of the end zone. I think they mark it at actually the 3 here. See where the spot? No, it's at the half-yard line. He was a half-yard short.
I was going to say, Damon Banks with those knees up high and kicking almost found the end zone there. That is a tremendous effort there, dragging bodies along with him. And now the Cougars sniffing at the goal line here. Matt, once again, that big offensive line opening up some holes tonight.
And the Cougars will go in that jumbo set. We saw it last week with Ladson leading the way. Good tackle from behind that time by Southwestern, as coming to get him was Jacob Galena on the rush. And the Cougars are just short on 1st and goal.
That's Anthony Spearman there getting a crack at it. And look at that, J.Q. Ladson lining up in the middle, leading the way. That has got to be a sight you do not want to see as a defensive lineman, but here it is again.
He's got Banks and Spearman on either side. Instead, Perry's going to try and push it over the end zone, and he does. A touchdown for the Cougars. Chaden Perry into the end zone.
You get down at that point of the field, it's just a matter of time, and the Cougars able to punch it in and convert the first touchdown here tonight. Tremendous job.
So call it a 45-yard drive. It only took 4 plays, and the Cougars with a 7-0 or 6-0 lead as we wait for the extra point. Ty Morrison in to take it. 6 for 6 last week. Was very good last year in the extra point range. Has some range with his leg as well. We hope to see him maybe a little bit later as he'll put this one up straight through the uprights. Or should I say, no, he missed it on the near side. Shows what I can see from here. So 6-0, a missed extra point. And the broadcaster jinx exists.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, I hope we didn't jinx them. You know, it is a full moon tonight, Matt.
It's some weird stuff, man.
Let's be careful with some of those comments. You never know how things might turn. But to echo what you already said, a tremendous special teams player, a weapon for us, has been efficient throughout. So, again, I think he'll get that straightened up.
Only his 3rd missed extra point in his career. Here's the Cougars. Last year was 28 of 30 on the extra point. So you talk about 37 extra point attempts, and he's only missed 3 of them. It's a pretty good number.
I'll take those numbers any day.
Yep. So 6-0 lead for College of the Canyons. A 4-play, 45-yard drive. And that was all they needed for Chaden Perry to get into the end zone, his first rushing touchdown of the season. And remember, Chaden Perry, a guy that can run the football. We saw it at Southwestern. He just hasn't been asked to do that so far this year.
You know, again, the trend has been for the Cougars and, you know, in years past historically to have those dual threat quarterbacks. And so, again, maybe Chaden Perry in that mold as we've seen here over the last 25 years of Cougar football.
So the Cougars will kick it away here. Ty Morrison will get ready to drive it down the field. Looks like Diop along with, can't tell who's on the far side. Diop going to wave his hand in the air, and Morrison will kick it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Southwestern will get the ball back for the 3rd time today after the interception last time. Harry will come back out to work with the offense as Southwestern trailing 6-0. Cougars making good on a turnover from the defense, doing exactly what they needed to do and going down and scoring. So we'll spot the ball at the 25-yard line. Harry is back out on the field. Jazzo in the backfield with him, with receivers split out to each side. Now Southwestern in their white uniforms will move to our right here on their 3rd drive of the game. Tough snap. They'll hand it off to Jazzo. Nowhere to go. Ball is loose. It comes out. It looked like Jazzo was down, and we'll wait and see on the signal from the officials. but it looked like the first man in was Victory Vaca on the hit.
We'll see the replay here. There's a lot of bodies there. And I want to see, that's Cole Bullock on the bottom.
It was Vaca over the top.
Vaca over the top, a dual effort there.
And they say he was down. Unfortunately, no replay here in the SCFA and the CCCAA, so it'll be second down. They'll give him a 5-yard gain. That's a huge spot with the ball out. So we'll go 2nd and 5. Cougar defense going to try and go back to work. Jazzo on the handoff again, and now there's a flag right in the area of a hold. First in on the hit was Cole Bullock once again. And the linebacker just stepping right into the hole and laying some lumber.
I'll tell you what, Cole Bullock didn't like that last call. He got his head in there and made the fumble. They didn't give it to him, so he said, you know what, I'll bring it back one more time. Cole Bullock, another one of those athletes, had a tremendous offseason, worked out, and he's one of those guys that they are very excited about here tonight.
So it seems as though the Cougars, or they picked up the flag, actually. The flag got thrown, but I think they picked it up, and they gave him a gain of about 2. So it'll be 3rd and about 3 here for Southwestern. Jaguars will go back to work. Jazzo remains as the feature back here with Harry behind him, or next to him, I should say. Harry going to throw here on 3rd down. They have the sticks. And a first down to Keanu Davis along the far sideline. So Southwestern able to move the chains. Maybe a little bit of a break after what looked like a fumble. And they get their new set of downs. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
So Southwestern able to prolong the drive here a little bit, dodged some bullets, took some tough hits. And that Cougar defense looks like they're starting to come into form here, starting to get a feel for this Jaguar offense.
It's Harry in the backfield in the shotgun. Southwestern just 5 men on the line trying to protect here. Pass along the outside. Stepping up to make the hit right as the catch was made for the Cougars. I want to say it was Joshua Christopher there.
Joshua Christopher Turbo making another one of those big plays on the outside.
It was Abdi Ali on the catch on the far side, I believe. Actually, it was Jovan Young. The 5s and the 6s on Southwestern's uniforms giving me a hard time today, but we'll get it cleaned up. 2nd down, and we'll call it 4 from the Jaguar 42-yard line. Harry will give Jazzo nowhere to go. Met in the backfield. A huge hit by Reggie Jones. Jazzo just got the football, and Jones right on top of him.
Reggie Jones, that is a name you are going to hear a lot this season and probably next Saturday as well. Or excuse me, Saturdays next year as well. And again, those Cougars just swarming to the ball. Doesn't look like Southwestern has much in store for him here. Like I said, able to prolong the drive, but no big chunk plays, and that's exactly what the Cougars want.
Huge play from Reggie Jones there as it puts Southwestern behind the chains a bit here on 3rd and 8, as they're a little bit off schedule. Jazzo remains in the backfield. 3 receivers out to the near side for Southwestern. Only 5 on the offensive line for the Jaguars here. Bad snap on the ground, and Harry just has to dive on it. And that pushes Southwestern all the way back inside their own 35-yard line for a 4th down.
So there's another one that they've dodged, and you got to feel like sooner or later the Cougars are going to be able to pounce on one of these and capitalize. But like you said, job is done. You're able to get off the field, get your offense back to work, and we're just getting going here, Matt.
Defense does the work again. They've had an interception, and now they force after a first down, pretty simple 4 plays from Southwestern, and COC able to take care of it here. So we'll kick it away here on 4th and 12 with just about 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. This punt a little bit better, end over end, bouncing at the Cougar 38-yard line and skipping right out of bounds, and probably a good thing Calvin Littles was waiting there to try and put up a big play. Instead, COC will take over on their own 38-yard line. So 5:57 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 College of the Canyons. And the COC offense, fresh off that 4-play, 45-yard drive, back out onto the field to go to work.
And, you know, that's 2 sides of the coin. College of the Canyons can either grind it out on you and establish those long drives, or, you know, they've also been known to have that quick strike offense. So we'll see what we get here next.
As they'll run here on 1st down, Damon Banks has the opportunity. He's able to push ahead for just 2 yards, was met right at the line of scrimmage, but fought for 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. So we'll go 2nd down and 8. Ball on the 39-yard line. Perry in the shotgun, waiting for the snap, belt high. He'll step back to throw. Now going to step up in the pocket, throws it on the run. Pass caught, and I believe good enough for a first down as Jenkins able to make the catch. We'll see where the mark is. It's right at the sticks. And it looks like they'll mark him at the 47-yard line of the Cougars, so the chains will move.
Perry, a nice job throwing on the move there, finding his man. Just, didn't have to take off and run with it, just shifty enough to get some room and complete the pass.
Cougars looking back at the sidelines. David Banks, the offensive coordinator for COC, I believe down on the sidelines this year, changed. He was up in the booth last year. As Perry trying to set everybody into their right positions here. Belt high snap on first down, throwing in the flat, but just couldn't find Damon Banks. A little bit overthrown, as that was going to be 6. Damon Banks was wide open.
That's an easy 6. He had him, and he had him in full movement down the sideline. One of those things that I'm sure he wishes he had back, but good to see that the opening was there, and don't be surprised if they go back to that at some point.
So we'll go 2nd down and 10. Ball in the 47, just on the Cougar side of midfield. Inside of 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. New quarterback in there for COC. Looks like a change here as Cam Fouts comes in. Not sure if Perry hurt something on that last throw, but Fouts will give. Banks spins off a tackle, still on his feet, across the 50. Inside the 40, there's going to be a penalty flag way back in the middle of the field on a block, and I believe they're going to get Zion Slade for a little bit too much aggression.
Yeah, Zion Slade, a nice job getting out in front and leading that charge, and we'll see where they get the penalty here. Looks like, yep, he just got outside the cylinder and around him, and you can't do that. So that's too bad, but a strong run. And again, the Cougars will have to continue to work that angle.
Officials talking about it here. Flag came from the near sideline. And it is against Zion Slade. So it'll bring 2nd down for COC, and it'll push the ball all the way back inside their own 45-yard line to the 43. And it is Cam Fouts still out there. Fouts last week threw 3 passes, and one of them was an interception, didn't complete a pass. And he's in an empty back set right now. So all of a sudden, a quick switch for COC. Not sure what happened to Chaden Perry. He's here on the sidelines, it looks like. Maybe just trying to change something up here. Fouts pointing, barking out directions. Banks in motion will stop up. Fouts going to throw here. This pass caught. Back across the 50-yard line, it was Zion Slade. And a nice chunk, maybe about a 7-yard gain.
And that's a nice job, Matt, putting the ball on the other side of the defender right where only his man could get it. Just kind of laced it in there. And a big 3rd down upcoming.
So good spot here for Cam Fouts, the freshman out of Oak Park, California, as he goes here on 3rd and 5. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line of Southwestern. Banks in the backfield. Fouts walks up to the line and backs off. Clock ticking at 4 minutes. Southwestern is showing blitz here. Fouts will throw, has to get rid of it in a hurry. Pass caught on the outside. Staying inbounds and on his feet, breaking a couple tackles. Calvin Little's trying to break one here, and he gets it all the way inside Southwestern territory, down to about the 22-yard line.
Calvin Little's with a little shake and bake on the sideline, just loses the defender. And for a minute there, Matt, I thought he was going to break it. Just didn't quite have enough room. But that's a tremendous play from the young man from Gainesville, Florida. And we know he's got some friends and family watching. Good job, young man.
So a huge gain all the way back down to the 23-yard line, 22-yard line, actually, of Southwestern. And now we see Chaden Perry come back in. So Fouts does the job, a couple of plays, gives Perry a break, goes in there, throws a couple of nice passes, biggest gain of the game for COC. It's Perry to hand off. Banks running behind a couple of blockers, gets wrapped up by 3 Jaguars. Southwestern stole the ball away, and this might be a turnover here. We'll wait and see. As it looks like Ulrich Nakai got there and tore it out of his hands. And they say no fumble. And that forward progress.
So a little reversal of fortune there. Canyon's able to dodge one.
So it'll put the clock at 2:57. It'll bring up a second down, and we'll say 9, as I think they gave him a yard, maybe 2. Cougars have Slade in the backfield along with J.D. Sumlin here. They'll fake the handoff to Sumlin. Perry throws over the middle pass, in and out of the hands of Zion Slade, and incomplete.
Oh, and he had him right there. You're going to see here Perry just waiting long enough, little pump, and the ball is there. Slade just not able to haul it in, and that's unfortunate. And so now another big third down. Cougars knocking on the door again. I feel like they're going to want to punch this in here and finish what they started on this drive.
So 3rd and 9, ball in the 21. Clock stopped at 2:38. Cougars a 3rd down and long. 3rd time today they've been in a 3rd and long situation here in the first quarter. It's Perry back to pass. Looking, will throw underneath. Pass caught. And breaking towards the end zone and getting in for the score is Josh Smith, and a Cougar touchdown.
Josh Smith, the big tight end out of Tampa, Florida, putting his name in the stat book here tonight. Tight end, a position not normally utilized here for the Canyons Cougars, but sure we're able to go to him there with tremendous efficiency.
And he flashed some receiver speed here, Jesse, able to just beat everybody to the corner and get to the end zone for the touchdown. His first score of the year, his first catch of the year.
Listed at 6'3", 225, so definitely has the build of a tight end, but obviously the quickness to go outside when needed. And that's going to be another one of those weapons for the Cougars.
Morrison puts this one up and through, dead center in the uprights. And now the Cougars with a 13-0 lead, 2 scoring drives, 2 touchdown drives in the first quarter. And with 2:31, a 13-0 College of the Canyons lead here from Cougar Stadium.
And, Matt, you know, this is exactly what you expect from College of the Canyons. You know, it didn't turn out that way last week. You had a special teams miscue that allowed the Marauders to actually get into the game, score an early first quarter touchdown. And so Cougars never really did get that big first quarter advantage. You know, the final score would certainly tell a different story. But to see Canyon seemingly in control here in all facets of the game and able to move along has been tremendous.
Well, the Doo-Wop Project features stars from Broadway hits Jersey Boys, Motown the Musical, and A Bronx Tale. With its unparalleled authenticity of sound and vocal excellence, the Doo-Wop Project recreates and in some cases entirely reimagines the greatest music in American pop and rock history. Don't miss your chance to catch a Doo-Wop Project here at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center Saturday, October 1st, 9 p.m. For tickets, head to pack.canyons.edu/shows. As Morrison, a low kick that will bounce out of bounds, and a flag will come out, and that'll place the ball at the 40-yard line, I believe, for Southwestern here. Just a low kick, almost a miss kick that time from Ty Morrison. So we'll put the ball at the 35-yard line, actually. We'll go 1st and 10 for Southwestern here.
Matt, I'm excited to see this Cougar defense. Who's the next guy who's going to make a play out here?
As there's been a few so far early on, have held Southwestern off the board, have picked up an interception and a 3-and-out. As on a run on 1st down, Jazo again. He's been the lone back so far for Southwestern, really. He's doing all the work in the first quarter. Picks up a chunk, just 2. It'll bring 2nd and 8.
And Southwestern seems to be committed to running through those 2 A gaps. So far, not a lot of success, but seemingly going back to it time and time again.
As we go 2nd down and 8 from the 37-yard line of the Jaguars. Harry in the shotgun. Jazo in the backfield with him. He'll throw. Pass caught on the near sideline. Stepping up to make the hit was Ashton Thomas, as the catch was from Cater Diop. And it's a couple of yards. It gets it to the 45 or the 40-yard line.
Ashton Thomas, one of those local kids out of Hart High School, and you always love to see as soon as the receiver catches the ball to have that defender right on him, and that's what happened there.
Thomas 3 tackles last week in the win for College of the Canyons. He's a sophomore defensive back. A guy certainly we might see next year at a different level as he gets a chance here in the starting lineup on the corner on the edge for COC. On 3rd and 5, COC with a blitz. Little short pass to Diop. Going to try and get to the sticks, and I think he's going to be about 2 yards short. He's 3 yards short. He didn't even get a yard or two out of that.
Yeah, I like the plan. You let the Cougar defensive front just run upfield, but I feel like they sniffed that out right away.
It was Thomas again.
Thomas there again, and Jaguars just didn't have the explosiveness to get all those yards. And so again, a quick drive, and the Canyons offense back out on the field.
The Cougars will have Zion Slade and Calvin Little standing split at about the 30-yard line, as they both now back up to about the 29. Kick is away. Slade is going to take this one in a fair catch. Dropped it right at the 25, but picked it up. Went right through his hands, but luckily he was able to corral it and keep it there. So the Cougars will take over at the 25-yard line here with 39 seconds to go in the first quarter.
One of those situations where the ball just kind of gets up on you. You got a lot of bodies sprinting up and then breaking down right in front of your face, and so to be able to at least haul that in and not lose anything was a good job.
And it was a late fair catch signal, too, so that might have thrown everybody off a little bit, too, as players kind of came in on him a little bit harder here. As we go 1st and 10, ball spotted at the Cougar 25-yard line. 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Perry is the quarterback in the shotgun. High snap nearly went over his head. Ball is kept by Perry, fooled everybody, including me, and he's able to get 10 yards out of it for a first down.
You, me, the defender, and I think probably even the official. Everyone was looking there, but that was a nice job, a nice misdirection.
I thought J.D. Sumlin had the football.
So did I, and I think so did the defender.
I think everybody did. So we see some of that dual threat from Jaden Perry, and he moves the sticks first down. Inside 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sumlin in the backfield to Perry's right. Dual receivers out to each side. This time he'll give it to Sumlin. Able to break one tackle, still on his feet across the 40. And if he had not run over his own man, and Tim Sauerland right at the 45-yard line, might have broken that one from a bigger one.
That's a nice job. He got hit twice before he even got north-south and still was able to turn that into a gain. So you'd love to see what he's able to do when he hits those big holes that the O-line has had a knack for making.
So that brings us to the end of the first quarter. 13-0 College of the Canyons will take a timeout. Back with more when we come back.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Folks, last month the Cougar football program lost a dear member of its family when Ralph DeMeo, a dedicated Canyons football supporter and founding member of the Cougars football chain gang crew, passed away. A kind and loving father, husband, and friend, Ralph was the eternal optimist and a self-proclaimed greatest athlete on the planet. And so we just wanted to honor him tonight. We did so before kickoff. And again, just wanted to send our most sincere condolences to the entire DeMeo family. Thinking about you, Ralphie. Appreciate everything you've done for us.
So the Cougars able to pick up a first down, I believe. Actually, they're going to be a yard short on a run right out of the play. Didn't see who had it as we were still honoring Ralph, and certainly a guy we miss here on the Cougars sidelines, working the chain gang, singing the national anthem.
Yeah, I had a special moment here pregame with the DeMeo family, and we're happy to honor Ralph in any way we can.
And Perry with a first down as he pushes ahead. So the Cougars will move the chains. Ball at the 45-yard line. And so COC will go back to work. Another first down as they move the chains. Perry has done a nice job running the offense outside of the 3 plays from Cam Fouts, which actually got the Cougars down into the end zone to strike for the second time. As Perry to throw here on 1st and 10, pass along the outside, and he just fluttered it a little bit, and it was out in front of Zion Slade, but maybe in a good spot as it's an incomplete pass and it doesn't pick up an interception.
And Matt, you mentioned Cam Fouts. Just want to comment again. That's what you want from your backup quarterback.
Absolutely.
The ability to be ready at a moment's call, go in, make the tough play, lead your team for as long as needed. And then if you have to, you turn back over the reins and you get ready to go do it again. That's a nice job.
And I think the Cougars really have 3 guys this year can step into that. Bryce Dixon did it last week. Noah Staples as well. Fouts got only a couple of plays, but you see he had some good success here today. As Perry to throw, looking over the top, has a man down the middle, pass caught, and a first down for the Cougars. Josh Smith have his name called again, a big play.
Yep, there's that man again, and you saw Chaden Perry just able to sit back there, get a full extension on his motion, and find his receiver, tight end, whatever you want to call him, right over the middle of the field, and that's another big chunk play for the Cougar offense.
All the way down to the 27-yard line of Southwestern. And I mean, I know he's listed as a tight end, but Josh Smith might as well be a wideout. He's running like one today. As we go on 1st and 10, Cougars have a little bit of miscommunication trying to get themselves set back up as Tavius Jenkins actually ran back towards Perry. They'll hand off. Ball is on the ground. It's loose, and it's picked up by Southwestern on the pitch that time, and it was just in and out of the hands of J.D. Sumlin.
Yeah, we're going to see here on the replay, I mean, it was right there. I think he just looked upfield and started to run before he had secured the ball. You see him kind of linger there for a moment. He knows what happened. And that's a tough break, especially, like you said, coming back off that big chunk play. Cougars on the move. Definitely going to want to clean that one up.
Second fumble of the day for J.D. Sumlin. There was a penalty on the play, but it gets wiped out. It was an illegal formation on the Cougars as they weren't set up. I think they had somebody covering somebody at the line that wasn't allowed.
And so here you turn back to your defense, who has already made a number of plays, and you ask them to pick you up again, do what they do.
As we go to work for Southwestern, they're on their own 27-yard line, 28-yard line actually. First down pass, Diop with the catch. Knocked out of bounds, picks up about 7 yards. Good throw that time on the outside by Harry.
And the Jaguars electing to start with the passing game as opposed to that, up the middle run that hasn't boded much success for them on the early downs. So we'll see if that trend continues here. Maybe a little bit of urgency trailing 13-0.
They were a heavy pass team last week, 231 yards through the air, just 81 on the ground. Trying to run it here, and the Cougars' defensive line just swallows up Jazzo that time, and it was a bunch of big bodies. Reggie Jones was one of them in there. I saw that.
And again, from this standpoint, it looks like there's a hole there. It looks like there's an opening. The Cougar defense just doing a great job, hands up on the linemen, being able to shift them out of the way and get there and make the play.
I think J.Q. Ladson was in there on the tackle as well.
He's a guy.
Between him and Reggie Jones, man, there ain't a lot of room to run on that right side.
Tremendous technique out there right now.
As we go on 3rd down and call it 3 from the Southwestern 35. Harry to throw. Pass was tipped, and it goes in and out of the hands of the receiver. Pass was, I believe, intended for Leo Mangarini.
And that's exactly what you want, Matt. The pressure's there. There's hands up in the face. Everyone trying to get to that ball, and then your secondary right there to meet him at the sideline and break it up. So
we apologize for a little bit of that. Apologize for a little bit of that technical difficulties. We're trying to get things worked out a little bit. As the Cougars leading 13-0. As you missed an interception thrown by Chaden Perry and then an interception by Cole Bullock. As the Cougars go back to work on the offensive side. Still working out some technical things, so bear with us here. As on 1st down, a run by Spearman, or 2nd down and 4. Run by Spearman picks up a couple. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 for COC from the Southwestern 37-yard line. Perry in the shotgun. It looks like Spearman in the backfield with him. Perry will immediately run to his left. Throws. Pass caught. Zion Slade inside the 30. Still on his feet, and a first down for COC with 9:13 to go here in the first half.
So College of the Canyons trying to pick up where they were before we went off here. And Zion Slade, just the latest athletic weapon to have his number called. And again, the Cougars continue to move down in the right direction.
So it'll be 1st and 10. COC ball spotted at the 27 of Southwestern. Perry fakes the handoff, has to sprint outside, throws over the middle, pass caught, and enough for a first down inside the 5-yard line. Once again for COC, it's Josh Smith.
I think the Cougars might have found their guy, and Josh Smith has continued to answer the call every time Chaden Perry has looked toward him, and he was almost in there again. And love to see what they are doing with this young man, getting the ball in his hands and letting him make plays.
So 1st and goal for COC. 8:15 to go. They'll hand it off. Not much room to run for, I think it was Sumlin that time back in the game. No, actually, it was Damon Banks. He put his hand up like it was a touchdown, but he's not going to get there. They're going to spot it down on the 1-yard line.
Well, if he didn't get there, he wasn't more than an inch or two away, because he had big J.Q. Ladson right in front of him, and he in that big offensive line, and he just found the crease just short, and here we go again.
They'll do the big back set again. Perry just going to try and push the pile. Sprinting towards, no signal yet are the officials. And now they put the hands up, and Perry into the end zone once again. His 2nd touchdown of the night from 1 yard out.
And I love it, Matt. You bring in the big jumbo backfield. You run the ball with your traditional back. You line up again, same look, and you just let Perry go in there, nose down, get behind one of those big old guards and punch it in. That's a nice job and a play call sequence that will keep that defensive front on their toes.
So 19-0. Morrison in to kick. Extra point is up, and this time it is no good again. Missed it that time on the near side, so he's missed one off the inside foot, one off the outside of his foot, and it's 19-0 COC.
You know what? Again, we talked about what a special team stalwart that this young man has been. I'm chalking those two up to the full moon tonight. Just a little bit of bad mojo. He's going to get it straightened out. And luckily, it hasn't mattered so far, as Canyon's ahead by 3 touchdowns and in control here tonight.
So 19-0 COC. So the Cougars with a 19-0 lead. 3 touchdowns in the first half for COC. Chaden Perry with 2 of them on the ground from 1 yard out. 2 total rushes of 2 yards, and he scored twice.
You got to like that conversion rate there, Matt. And again, like we were talking about, that big O-line in front of them, the Jaguar defensive front doesn't know what to expect. And it's worked twice for the Cougars here so far tonight.
So Morrison kicks this one out of the back of the end zone. So a touchback the ball at the 25-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Southwestern. Ball at the 25-yard line, trailing 19-0. The Cougars with 3 touchdown drives in the first half. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier, but we're back with you here. As we said, you missed a couple of interceptions, 1 for each side. But you caught the touchdown, and that's maybe at this point the more important of the 3 plays. As we go back to work, 1st and 10 for Southwestern. new quarterback in there for the Jaguars as they're trying to change something up here. As Jimmy Inman was in at quarterback. Rush was David Jazzo, and he picks up a couple of yards.
I want to say that was number 40, Will Mafu, just slicing in there with the takedown. It's the first time we've had a chance to call his name here tonight. But another one of those guys out of Clearwater, Florida. Potential to make an impact here for this defense.
So Inman at quarterback. The sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia is down. Snap was low, and he got run over the top of by Sean Bryant, the running back, and just kind of lost the football. Nothing much he could do there.
Yeah, was fortunate to just be able to, like you said, fall on it and live to fight another day because Jackson Volk was coming at him hard. And so, again, I feel like this Jaguar offense has dodged some bullets here, putting the ball down on the turf a few times.
Yeah, I mean, the COC defense is certainly stout and putting a lot of pressure on him, and should have probably had more than 2 turnovers at this point in time. They probably should be at 4. As we go to work here on 3rd down and long, call it 3rd and 14 from the Jaguar 21-yard line. Inman to throw. The lefty will sling it. Pass intercepted by College of the Canyons, and that time it was Sean Miller, the linebacker, in there to make the interception. Or actually, excuse me, it was Samaj Williams, sorry, getting the numbers confused.
I was going to say, Samaj Williams, another one of those guys out there, and you can see the excitement as his teammates surround him there. I think the turnover chain's back out. And again, one of those plays, you know, the Southwestern offense just trying to make something out of nothing. Move the ball down the field, get a chunk, but you can't do that against a secondary like this and a defensive front that's just in your face. So Canyon's back in business, short field, and let's see what happens.
Second interception of the season for Samaj Williams, just playing center field that time to make the interception catch. And the Cougars back to work on offense. Change here. I believe they will put it on the ground with Calvin Littles as Jaden Perry kind of on the end around and just couldn't get anything doing.
Yeah, you know, Littles kind of hesitated as he came around there. I think he might have been looking downfield.
Yep.
And
I
just
thought he was
going
to fire one.
Exactly, just wasn't there, and so he turned on the old shake and bake like he already did on the other far sideline and just tried to get something out of it.
So it's a loss of 5. We go back to work on 2nd down and 5. Perry in there in the shotgun. Banks right next to him. He'll hand off. Banks through the pile, able to push ahead, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short. Flag in the backfield back near the holding area, so this will likely come back 10 yards, and we'll do it again on 2nd down. Actually, it's a personal foul in the defense here. A face mask, hand to the face, they say. Off, Banks through the pile, able to push ahead, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short. Flag in the backfield back near the holding area, so this will likely come back 10 yards, and we'll do it again on 2nd down.
So it works out for Canyons, and we already talked about on the 1st down, maybe a little bit of trickery there. And, you know, when you have the short field like that and the offense working like it is, you have the luxury of trying things like that. Strong run, tack on the penalty on the end, and you're back in business 1st down.
So the Cougars out at the 25-yard line of Southwestern, back in the red zone. Banks spins off a tackle, fights for a couple more. He was dead to rights there at the line of scrimmage and still picks up 4 yards.
Yeah, he's running hard. All these backs here tonight. We just see a little bit of movement there. You got that spin. You just try and get north-south upfield, and so far it's working out for him.
So call it 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 from the 20-yard line. So they need to get to about the 14 here for a 1st down. It's like split halfway between, it looks like. As Perry with Banks to his right in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the near side. As Perry will keep it this time on a straight quarterback keeper on a draw play. Fights ahead, still on his feet as he bounces off a couple of bodies. A couple of flags come out. And I'm not sure what the flags will be. I want to say they're going to go against COC for maybe an illegal block, but
I mean, look at the strong run here. Bounced off is exactly right. Someone's got him around the ankles, gets around that, throws the stiff arm, takes another hit.
Block in the back by Zion Slater.
Yeah,
I believe.
That's a tough one. But again, you got to like the effort and the nose for the end zone, just trying to get upfield by your quarterback. You'll take the penalty. You'll come back and try and do it again, but that's a nice hard run.
So we'll go 2nd down and very long here. call it 11. I think the ball spotted right at the 35 or 25-yard line, I should actually say. And Perry in the shotgun with Banks out there with him. 2 receivers out to each side for College of the Canyons. As we go on 2nd down and 11. Perry to throw, looking left the whole way. Now back to his right. Has to tuck it, gets hit by a couple of Jaguars. Still on his feet and finally gets brought down. Back behind the 30-yard line at the 33.
So there's the flip side of the coin. You know, he tries to run around a little bit, get a little bit shifty and upfield. And I feel like he was just trying to get that ball away. Probably made the smart choice of tucking it in and just taking the sack.
Yeah, it looked like something he might want to throw away for a second there, Jesse. You're absolutely right. And sometimes that's some of the maturity as well that these guys are trying to pick up. Timeout Southwestern here with 3:47 to go in the first half. On a 3rd and 18 with the Cougars leading 19-0. We'll take a break as well here on the Cougar Sports Network and SoCalCollegeSports.com. All right, welcome back in as we go back to work. 3rd and 18 here for the Cougars on the Southwestern 32-yard line. COC trying to go to work. Perry to throw on 3rd and long. Has time. Throws over the middle. Pass. Caught. Jacob Taylor right down the middle of the field. Good enough for a Cougar first down.
That man had all day back there, Matt, to settle and scan the field and see who he wanted to go to. That's a nice job by this offensive line, as we've said several times already tonight. And the Cougar offense, I've been impressed again. You know, you take the losses, you take the sack here and there, but the fight to continue moving forward has been impressive here.
It was actually Jacoby Taylor. I want to get the young man's name correct, but nice play that time. Right over the middle on a wide open look from Chaden Perry. And the Cougars 1st and goal from the 10-yard line as Perry will go to work. He'll hand off. Banks has a hole, still on his feet, breaks a couple of tackles, and dives into the end zone. Cougar touchdown, Damon Banks.
Well, that looked almost too easy, but another exciting run by the young man. And, Matt, I like the chance there to see the Cougars not only, run in the red zone offense, not only that goal line set, but to be able to come out there with just a regular formation and be able to execute like that with a nice long run. College of the Canyons in control here. I don't know if there's anything stopping this offense. A couple miscues on special teams, but we'll get those straightened out.
Clean up a couple of the turnovers as well, but that's been about it so far. 25-0 COC. Morrison's kick this time is up and good. So he's 2 for 4 today on extra points. And the Cougars with a 26-0 lead with 3:07 to go in the first half. And credit the big boys up front on that last play, making a huge hole. And it was just all sorts of room for Damon Banks. He makes the rest of it work, breaks a couple of tackles.
100%. You look over at the Southwestern sideline. This defense has got to be dejected, look a little bamboozled out there with what College of the Canyons is continually bringing at them and executing just seemingly at will. So a nice job, Coach Banks, Coach O, the offense getting things together here tonight. We got a long way to go. Anything can happen, but the College of the Canyons has got to like the way things are going right now.
Well, we've seen some new wrinkles today. Tight end sets for the Cougars this year. We've seen J.Q. Ladson in there as a fullback a couple of times today.
This is seemingly an offense that has evolved a bit over the offseason and here in spring, and we're getting able to see some of those new components here tonight.
As we'll go down and kick the ball away here with Ty Morrison. With 3:07 to go in the first half, as Morrison's kick is a low line drive. It's going to bounce at the 10 and roll out of the back of the end zone. I think he gets a little lucky that time. It kind of skipped and took a straight hop. So a touchback, and Southwestern will take it at their own 25-yard line. So other than the turnovers, Jesse, can't ask for much more if you're COC here on your home field for the first time this year.
home field, you come out with a lot of excitement. We already talked about some pregame emotion here tonight. A nice boisterous crowd here under what were clear skies. We didn't know what to expect coming into the game.
We thought Hurricane K might come get us.
It has turned into a lovely evening here under the lights and under the full moon. And if you are a fan here in Cougar Stadium tonight, you are certainly getting your money's worth.
As we go to work, is Harry back in there? Actually, the third quarterback of the day, Dylan McCain, in there for Southwestern. They'll keep it on the ground. They'll pick up a couple of yards.
I mean, and take your pick of who was there. That was Reggie Jones. That was Brian Snoke. A couple other young men, most of which will probably be playing on Saturdays next year at a 4-year level. And so, again, these guys, I continue to be impressed just seeing them fly around. Doesn't matter which way the Jaguars are looking to go. There's a College of the Canyons Cougar there ready to meet them.
The big boys up front have done a nice job on both sides of the ball today for COC. The run game has not really been that good for Southwestern. On the other side, the COC run game has had some huge chunks here and there, including that last touchdown. As they'll hand off and nowhere to go, Jazzo hit right in the backfield, and coming up to make the tackle that time was Tylen Foster.
Tylen Foster, another one of those guys, the pride of Cypress, Texas, out there flying around making plays. And again, Matt, we talked about the execution on both sides. That comes down to tremendous coaching. These guys are well coached at all position groups, at all levels of the field, and that's showing here tonight. The skill and the technique is translating over to these big plays out here on the field.
So McCain back in the shotgun as we go 3rd and long. I think it's actually 3rd and 10 as they gave him the line of scrimmage somehow there. I don't really know, but okay. So we go 3rd and 10. McCain will put a man in motion. Southwestern going to be forced to call a timeout before the play clock expires. And actually, they're not going to get a timeout. It's going to be called delay of game. I think they didn't get the timeout called, so that'll push them back 5 more yards.
And, you can't afford to have that here now backed up. Under 2 minutes to go in here in this first half. You want to try and extend things. College of the Canyons got the bells ringing in the background. That defense is going to be amped and ready to go. Hand in the dirt, and let's get after them.
Defense actually going to take a timeout here as Ted Iacenda is way out on the middle of the field. He's not happy with something with the officials. I don't know what, but he was shaking his head. He was clapping his hands. He was waving his arms.
Well, Ted will certainly let you know if he sees something out there that shouldn't be. And seemingly pleading his case here, we're asking for an explanation. And I don't think he got the one he wanted thus far as the conversation continues. So we'll see.
I'm not sure. He's waving his hands over his head. I don't know if it has something to do with the previous timeout, previous penalty flag, something like that. So, I mean,
maybe the fact that they granted the timeout there instead of the
you know what? Maybe
game.
No, it's still a game. They're back 5 yards. It's 3rd and 15 on the 20-yard line.
He's definitely.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's been a long conversation. And it looks like we're going to go back to work after the timeout. I don't have the first idea. I think I was confused. Maybe he thought he had the option to decline the penalty or something. I don't know.
He was definitely looking for an explanation.
As we'll throw here on 3rd and 15. Pass caught on the near sidelines. And it looked like it was Lenza Robinson coming up the near sidelines. Able to pick up a nice chunk, but not enough for a first down.
And we talked about technique. Look at Tylen Foster get his arms on the blocker and seemingly drive him back into the backfield. Disrupts that play, makes the ball carrier bounce it out around the outside. And then College of Canyons is right there to meet him. That's another nice job.
So we have another stoppage here. The officials on the near side huddled up right in front of Coach I. Take another look. It looks like there's a penalty flag on the play. I'm not sure where it is. Be a defensive hold, maybe? I know one of the Cougars pushed back a receiver about 10 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get him on a hold for that. I mean, that's just, like you said, hands up and trying to shed the blocker. And if he moves back, if he's on roller skates, so be it, but we'll see here.
It's a personal foul on the offense. Okay. So 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, and it's 4th down. So it was a late hit out of bounds. I think some guys jawing right near the Cougars sideline there. I was curious as to what the flag was. It took a while for them to kind of get together and figure out what we were talking about here.
Well, and probably also taking some extra time to prepare that explanation to Coach I.
Who was already on. Yeah.
And already, had a question for him.
So it goes in the Cougars' favor that time. The ball all the way back to the 19-yard line of Southwestern. And they'll be forced to punt it away from inside their own end zone. As back to punt once again is Jillian Acosta. And whistles for a timeout. And I think it's a timeout for Canyons as they decide they want to talk about it here and kind of maybe go punch one in with 1:24.
I wouldn't be surprised you put on a special teams play here. You've got them back when it gets to the end zone. Either way, you're getting the ball and with your 90-second offense. So, hey, why not take a shot? You certainly don't want to take a penalty here. Why not take a shot and see if you can't get something going here on the special teams? That would be a tremendous exclamation point heading into the halftime locker room. So we'll see.
As the Cougars getting to work, trying to dial up what they want to do here, special teams-wise. As Coach Corbett was out there leading the charge, hollering around, trying to rally the troops. I believe he does the special teams as well, right? I don't think
Coach
we really have a special.
Corbett involved, I think, in every part of this program.
Might as well
His
be.
12th year as the defensive coordinator and a great leader and coach out there.
As this one punted away. Wobbling punt, good all the way back to the Cougar 40-yard line. Picked up this time by Cal Little. So try and bring it back to the near sideline. Spins, wants to reverse his field, has a trio of Jaguars chasing him. There's not going to be much more room for him to go. And he's able to make it positive and get 3 yards out of it on the return. A lot of running for not a lot of bang.
Calvin Little's had it in his mind he was going to do something on that play, and he just wasn't decided what that something was going to be. Tried both routes, but again, that's one of those guys that with his athleticism, you get the ball in his hands. I'll let him take that chance. I'll let him because you never know what could happen, what he can break. He's talented and quick enough to do that.
1:03 to go. 26-0 Cougars as they go back to work with the football on their own 45-yard line. Perry still in there at quarterback. And it looks like Banks in there in the backfield with him. Perry wants to throws along the outside. Pass caught. And I think it was Littleberry on the outside. So call it a 6-yard gain. Puts it at the Jaguar 49-yard line. Clock continuing, actually stopping at 57 seconds. Is this one thrown out of play? Incomplete pass. And so we'll go 3rd down and 4 from the Jaguar 49-yard line. Clock stopped at 50. Not much time off the clock so far. Just 10 seconds, really. A little bit more than that. We'll say 13, actually. It was 1:03, I think, when the Cougars got the football back. Math, not my strong suit, as we both know. As we go to work here on 3rd and 4. Perry to throw. Looks right first. Now looks left. Lost the football. It bounces into one of the linemen's hands. And running it a few yards forward that time was Stephen Eakins there just in the right place at the right time to make sure it wasn't a turnover.
Stephen Eakins, that's one of those guys that he has probably not recorded a carry in his career. And you saw it there. That's going to go down on the stat books as a carry. And that young man is excited, hands up in the air.
Zero hesitation, too, once he got the football.
Put his head down. I love that. Out of Golden Valley. And one of the leaders on this offensive line, a returner from last season. That's a fun job. And I'll tell you what, Matt, they're going to have fun with that in the tape room on Monday.
Look at him, no hesitation.
Yeah.
Ducked his head, tucked the ball,
wrapped
like
it.
he knew what he was doing.
Love it. That is awesome. And maybe we'll see him in that jumbo backfield at some point this season. I know he's a stalwart there on that right side. But that was a fun play and a nice job, something I'm sure he is going to remember.
Look, the O-line's fired up right now.
And Coach Mark Dumlau is going to love that.
Samueli Palau coming off the field, hyped up, ready to go.
Heck, I'm getting hyped up here. That is awesome.
You look at it again. I mean, he no hesitation, man. Tucked it like a back and was going.
And took the helmet on the ball, didn't cough it up or anything. And I love when he popped up with the hands in the air.
This is the play of the game so far.
I love it. Nice job out there, Steven.
26-0, 30 seconds to go in the first half. Ty Morrison on to punt after a little bit of fun for all of us and a little bit of fun for all of you at home. They're still talking about it down here. You look at Cole Smith going, man, Heisman? He did the Heisman pose to Steve?
I have a feeling that's going to be discussed all the way up the stairs and until they take a seat in the halftime locker room. And like I said, again on Mondays. That was fun.
Southwestern with a timeout before we go to break. Tired of eating at home? We'll stop into the nearest Jersey Mike's and try the classic number 7 turkey and provolone. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. We have it up here behind us in the booth. It's awesome. It's good food. Go get it.
Jersey Mike's, one of our tremendous partners and supporters of College of the Canyons athletics. We can't say enough about them and what their partnership to us, what their partnership with us means. Jersey Mike's a sub above, and since we're calling out numbers, I'm going to go with the 13 Club Supreme.
You love that one.
I love that one. Hey, give me some of that extra meat on there. But again, thank you, everyone involved at Jersey Mike's. We love you guys.
There's one of the boards up here in the Cougar Stadium, brand new signage boards, and we'll talk to you more about that as the game goes on. As we go here on 4th down, Morrison going to punt 4th and 4. Standing back at his own 35-yard line. Lone man back for Southwestern is either Andrew Kirk or Keanu Davis. It's a wobbly punt, bounces at the 15, rolls inside the 10. The Cougars will just let it roll down inside the 5, all the way to the 4, maybe the 3 or the 2-yard line. Great punt from Ty Morrison.
Now, interesting to see what not the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Southwestern Jaguars.
Wrong league.
Had the right sport, wrong league. That's for tomorrow. We'll save that one. But, they're just going to try and bunch up and run here, run out the clock. You can't afford any miscues. You know that Cougar defense will be right on you. But I have a feeling both sides are content to head to the halftime locker room here. Southwestern obviously needing to regroup. College of the Canyons wanting to catch their breath. Maybe clean up a few things. But we got another 30 minutes here coming up, Matt.
And remember, Southwestern gets the ball out of the timeout as they deferred. So in their own end zone, they go to work. Looks like it's McCain back in there. They'll hand off. No room to run. Met right at the line of scrimmage was the back for Southwestern. And first in on contact that time was big number 65 for the Cougars in Jackson Stein.
So that'll do it here.
It'll take us to halftime. The Cougars with a 26-0 lead over Southwestern. As 30 minutes in the books, we'll take a break. We'll have second half action when we come back here on SoCal College Sports and the Cougar Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Clara.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Welcome to College of the Canyons.
We are so excited to share our beautiful campuses with you. At College of the Canyons, we have distinguished ourselves as one of the leading community colleges in California through our high-quality academics, forward-thinking staff, and outstanding student support systems. We have 3 campuses that serve well over 33,000 students.
The Valencia campus is our original and largest campus and has a university feel in a park-like setting. The Canyon Country campus is our newest campus. It is located on the east side of town and is nestled in the foothills, giving it a small community feel.
And our 3rd campus is fully online, offering the opportunity to take classes whenever it's most convenient for you.
With a wide range of educational offerings, College of the Canyons offers students the option to earn certificates or associate degrees and prepare for transfer to 4-year universities. Students are able to choose from more than 200 academic programs and enjoy access to a large offering of student services, clubs, athletics, resources, and extracurricular events and activities.
We have a lot of exciting things to show you. So let's get started. Thank you for joining us on this virtual tour.
If you find that you have any additional questions, you can contact Outreach and School Relations either by email or phone. We'll see you on campus.
go your athletic future. 17 collegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes ready, reset, and go. College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule, COCathletics.com.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Welcome back into College of the Canyons, Cougar Stadium, SoCalCollegeSports.com, and SCVT, or excuse me, Cougar Sports Network, including SCVTV.com as well. We should say that as well. Matt Robinson, Jesse Munoz here with you. 26-0 Cougars at the end of the first half, and a pretty solid first half for COC, despite some turnovers early on.
Yeah, like you said, Matt, a couple things to clean up, a couple, like you said, penalties, turnovers, but for the most part, College of the Canyons in control throughout and able to overcome those, grab complete control of this game. And like I said, a lot of time left here, but so far nothing has been working for the Jaguars. And College of the Canyons is going to look to continue that trend.
A lot of different guys involved for COC. Chaden Perry, 8 of 14, 105 yards through the air, a touchdown and an interception. Cam Fouts, 2 for 2, 35 yards through the air. You look at the ground game, Damon Banks, 30 yards and a touchdown. J.D. Sumlin, 28 yards, has had a carry of 15, the longest carry of the day. Chaden Perry, 19 yards on the ground, including 2 scores. You go down the line, Anthony Spearman's had a run, Zion Slade's had a run. Even Stephen Eakins has had a run. He didn't get credit for any yards, but he got one.
Well, aside from the Stephen Eakins play, which we were all excited about, I want to talk about Josh Smith.
Thank you. I was going to get down to that.
of the Cougar offense to find that young man early and often, and at seemingly all points of the field. That guy's having a tremendous game. Damon Banks, like you said, running the ball hard. All these COC Cougars look excited to be out here. And, hey, this is a tremendous atmosphere to play for, play under, and here we go, Matt, second half.
You talked about Josh Smith. 3 catches, 63 yards, and a score along of 26. That was the touchdown pass. So a pretty nice start for him here today. Calvin Little's couple of catches, 22 yards. Jacoby Taylor, a 22-yard reception. So they've just been getting it from everywhere. Zion Slade, 19 yards as well. You look on the other side for Southwestern, and this really speaks to the COC defense. 27 total plays for Southwestern. 37 total yards. The defense has been stout today.
Yeah, not much doing. We've talked about them wanting to look and run right up the gap. That's not there. You got that defensive front. You got the secondary roaming around out there. And like I said, a well-coached, highly athletic group of young men out there just flying around, excited to make plays. Brian Snoke, big number 9, Cole Bullock out there. We mentioned J.Q. Ladson, Reggie Jones. I mean, the list goes on, Matt.
16 rushing attempts for Southwestern, net 3 yards in the ball game so far. Cougars have had 3 interceptions as well. It's just been a good start all around here at home for COC. Trying to get to 2-0, trying to get to a nice 2-0 start once again. As a win today for the Cougars would be their second straight season winning in the home opener. 6 times since Coach I took over as the head coach. They're 17-16 since the program reinstated back in 1998. So trying to make it 17-6, I should say. Trying to make it 18-6 today as they look for another win. As they'll kick it off here to start the second half. As they lead 26-0, Ty Morrison will kick it away. Southwestern with a couple of guys standing right about the 5-yard line. This kick not going to be handled by Southwestern, going to bounce in the end zone, a touchback. And the Jaguars will take it at the 25-yard line to start the second half.
And so, again, Matt, we talk about now the change of game plan. You go into the locker room, you're down 26 points. Obviously, you got to come out here and try and make a quick strike attack. We'll see if the sense of urgency changes here or if Southwestern is going to stick to their guns and stick to their offensive game plan and see what happens. Got to figure they're going to want to air it out here. And you got to think the Cougar defense is going to be ready for that.
Change of quarterback for Southwestern. Daniel Ammon coming in. So the 4th quarterback of the day for Southwestern. Just trying to find something to get going here.
And again, that might be a nod to that change of offensive philosophy we talked about here in the second half.
So here we go to work on first down. Amon hands it off. Nothing doing once again for Jazzo.
I feel like that's almost a scripted play that they want to start their drives here coming right up the gut. But, again, nothing doing. And College of the Canyons, a well-coached defensive front.
I think it might have been Tuni Aikahifu in on the tackle. I thought I heard 18 called, but we'll see. Try and pick out who it was. As we go to work on second down and 10. Ammon is the quarterback now. As we said, the fourth quarterback of the game. Throwing here, will throw it to his left. Pass caught just on the 1 yard past the sticks. So we'll say the 26-yard line and nothing for Southwestern there.
Once again, you catch the ball, you get a gain, and there's 3 Cougars right there to swarm you. You know, pick your poison, which one you're going to take the hit from. But when they're all there like that, there's not going to be much doing. And here we go, 3rd down already.
Yep, 3rd and 9. So as we said, I'm on the quarterback, a change at quarterback again. They've gone through everybody so far. Harry, Inman, McCann. Only Perez has not played here in the ball game. He's on 3rd down. I'm going to throw over the middle, nearly intercepted on one hop. It ran right into the hands of Jeremiah Cox. He was angry. He didn't move up a little bit to make the interception.
And look at big number 91, Joshua Hatchett there, coming full force, 2 big arms in his face. You got to think that had a little bit to do with that disruption there.
And you got to think the Cougars now, knowing that they have the run game scouted pretty well, can start to pin their ears back and go after the Southwestern quarterback at this point in time of the game. Leading 26-0 as Southwestern will kick it away. Acosta back to punt. An end-over-end punt going out of bounds, and we'll see where they spot it. I think they're going to run way up along the 50-yard line, maybe even further.
Yeah, I think that's going to be just over midfield for College of the Canyons.
Even further, it's all the way up to the 40, it looks like, inside the 40. That was a net, I think, 12-yard punt there, if I do the math correctly. And so that's a good field position for COC here as they come back out in the second half. And we're going to see Cam Fouts here at quarterback in the second half. Fouts, who's already got 2 completions for 35 yards and nearly had a chance to go into the end zone if not for a change back to Chaden Perry. So again, Perry's number is not going to be gaudy as they go with Cam Fouts here in the second half, leading 26-0. A couple of running backs in there with Fouts. As a false start on the offensive line. Snap was maybe a half second behind the line movement. And so a tough start to the first drive of the second half for COC.
But you know what, Matt? I like that. You're comfortably ahead. You've established your offensive dominance. Why not let Cam Fouts get in here? He certainly earned it with his appearance there in the first quarter. Had some nice plays. Why not let him get out there, take some extra snaps, and be able to continue that, that preparedness to be able to come in and lead this team at a moment's call.
So he's got Calvin Littles back there along with Damon Banks, it looks like, in the backfield with him. Actually, it's going to be J.D. Sumlin in the backfield with him. They'll hand off, and Sumlin able to get back up near the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it a 3-yard gain. And now a late whistle and a helmet came flying off from one of the Cougars. A couple of guys tied up. It was actually Donovan Reyes that got tied up with one of the Jaguars, but no flag on the play, and we'll continue on.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to come out of play just by virtue of losing that helmet. But Donovan Reyes, another one of those big bodies up front, doing a tremendous job here on a warm, muggy evening.
It's Midwest weather. We've said it a few times. It's Fouts here on 2nd down and 12. Looks back to the sideline after he called the play. We'll walk up to the line. We're getting inside 7 seconds here in the play clock. It's just Sumlin in the backfield next to Fouts. He'll throw here on 2nd and 12. Looking, throws to his left the whole way. Pass caught. Calvin Little's on the reception. About a 5-yard pickup. Back to the 36-yard line of Southwestern. It'll leave 3rd and a little over half the chains here.
Look at Calvin Littles with a man seemingly draped on his back. Just a nice job hauling that into his body and making the reception. Again, we've mentioned it before. That's a young man they're very excited about. Had a great freshman campaign with the Cougars. And back for more here tonight.
So looks like Titus Tatum going to come off the field, getting some help from the Southwestern athletic training staff as he was a little shaken up. So we'll go on 3rd and 7 here from the 36-yard line. Fouts in there at quarterback. Had a good run in the first half. 3 plays, completed 2 passes, got some good yardage. And he goes to work to start here in the second half. Cougars taking their time, using as much of the play clock as they can, and as they should with a 26-0 lead.
I think this is going to be the pace the rest of the way out, and why, like you said, Matt, why differ from that?
Fouts will throw, 3-step drop, looking, wants a big one, throws deep, looking for Little's pass, just in and out of the hands, as Cal Little's almost had it, had to recorrect, and you take another look.
Well, I'm going to tell you first and foremost, that is a beautiful ball right where it needs to be, maybe a millimeter out of the reach of Calvin Little's. I think if you asked him, he'd tell you he could get that 9 times out of 10, but a nice ball, Matt. And again, tremendous protection up front. Just wasn't able to
I thought there was a flag or something on the play. Sorry, I was pointing out. The umpire was spotting the ball well past the sticks. I got confused. But, yeah, back to your point, very good throw from Cal Littles there. Looked like the Cougars might go for it for a second, but I think they're going to let Ty Morrison just kick this one down inside the 10-yard line and see if he can stop one at the 2 again. Cougars might have to burn a timeout here really late to get on the field.
Well, and the 5 yards doesn't really hurt you here.
We're waiting on delay of game, but I don't know if we're going to get it here. They never pumped the clock, and they're trying to pump it.
I think Ted actually wants the I think he actually wants the penalty hollering at the 5 yards. Yeah. That's advantageous for the Cougars.
That's why why they were so late to get onto the field, and they should have pumped the clock anyway because of the fact that
And I'm going to tell you, I think that's the first time I've seen Coach I be upset that his team didn't get called for a penalty. That's a first for me, but it's certainly you understand the reasoning behind that.
Well, the Cougars think there's a penalty. They've all backed off the line of scrimmage.
He wanted it, but he did not get it.
And Ted, yeah, they actually stopped him and said, don't go up to the line of scrimmage. Move back to where we want the ball, and we'll punt it away. And that all comes off of the umpire was in the wrong spot. They needed to pump the clock. They never did. So now we'll just wait. Just wait. Now the clock stopped at 5.
And, with arms folded, Coach Hyacinth just raring to go there. And here comes the next one.
There we go. Now we get to delay a game. Week 2. Everybody's still getting used to it here. And now we'll go back to work. So fresh 25 on the play clock after a little bit of confusion here and there. And now a whistle because we're not set correctly. I guess, maybe?
Like we said, crazy from the heat, crazy from the full moon.
Yep.
Week 2 of the season, knocking off the rust. There's a lot of contributing factors here tonight. But it looks like they've got it figured out now.
Yeah, they said no yardage penalty for it, so we're 4th down. I'm confused. I guess Southwestern declined it, so we put it right back. They're going to make Ty Morrison punt it from right about the 50-yard line. Now we get some action. Morrison will kick this one away. Little drop punt, and he just boots it right out of the back of the end zone. He's trying to spin one. He kind of had a weird hold on it, Jesse. Did you see? He was kind of holding it point down.
I did, and like you said, if he was 5 yards back, I think that scampers around right before the goal line. So you see a little bit more of what Coach Hyacinth was trying to do with that particular strategy.
I don't know. You like to see that from Ty Morrison, though, trying something different at that point, knowing the worst that happens is he kicks it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and this is the time to do that. You're ahead. You're in the second half.
Maybe find something for later in the year.
Exactly. Control this game. Why not get out, work out those things, work out those new wrinkles that you want to try during the season.
Ryan, reminds me a little bit of something Johnny Hecker did a while back, the helicopter punt that everybody was going crazy about. Remember, I think it was Pat McAfee was losing his mind on the internet over that one. As we go 1st and 10 for Southwestern. As they fake the handoff, Hammond has to scramble. There should have been a flag for holding, and there is going to be one. The throw was low and incomplete.
You're going to see number 33 coming off the edge here for College of the Canyons, David Francis Jr. Obviously, clearly held.
Yeah, there was a handful of jersey there. He was going to get to the quarterback that time.
Yeah, that was a man on a mission right there. And so maybe if you're the Southwestern signal caller, you're okay with that penalty. You didn't take the hit. You live to fight another day.
Yeah, I'm a freshman out of Helix High School in San Diego is in there at the quarterback. So a blindside block against the offensive line, Aiden Ramirez, and that's going to push the ball all the way back to the 10-yard line, as they call it half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. So it'll put it 1st and 20 from the 10-yard line, as Southwestern needs to get out to the 30 as the ball was spotted on the 20-yard line. So Jaguars pushed back. The Cougars can pin their ears back defensively. Just a 4-man front on the line. Showing a little bit of pressure. They'll only bring 4. Ammon back to throw. Throws, pass, nearly intercepted. Going up to try and get it that time was Cole Bullock. Was looking for his 2nd of the game.
Cole Bullock almost climbed the ladder on that one. You're going to see him drop back in coverage here right in the middle of the field where he needs to be. You got to feel like 11 still should have made that play. But you got a body flying up in front of you. I don't know if he got a finger on that. Might have tipped it.
I think he got a touch on it.
Yeah. But again, right where he needed to be.
So it'll bring 2nd down and 20 here. Southwestern taking their time. Clock stopped at 11:30 here in the 3rd quarter. 26-0 Cougars. All the scoring in the first half so far. Evan back to throw here. Looking onto the near sideline, pass caught, and going right out of bounds after making the catch was Lenza Robinson. Good coverage that time by the Cougars on the near side. Looked like it was Ashton Thomas again on the near side, just forcing him out of bounds.
And number 33, David Francis, here on the end, giving that right tackle all he can handle. Again, that's back-to-back rush, back-to-back pressures out there.
Brian Snoke was actually over there in coverage as well. That's a guy you don't get hit by especially at full head of steam. We've seen Brian lay some wood on guys before. Southwestern going back to work here on 3rd and 12 from their own 18-yard line. Cougars showing a little bit of a pressure, and they're going to be offside here, so a free play for Southwestern. Ammon throws it and just throws it into the dirt. It was intended for Keanu Davis, but it's incomplete, but it doesn't matter. It'll push the ball up 5 yards, and it'll keep it 3rd down, and we'll call it about 7.
Yeah, just a little anxious there. Number 55, Reggie Jones, taking his turn there on that right side of the line, trying to get to the quarterback, and like you said, just a quick step too quick.
Yeah, he was trying to time the snap, it seemed like. He thought he might have had something on the snap count and just didn't quite have it. Looks like Southwestern going to make a little different look here with 3 receivers on the near side. Ammon still in there at quarterback. 3rd and 7 is Ammon back to throw. Pressured, forced out of the pocket. Throw over the middle, incomplete. In on coverage that time was Cole Bullock. Right there with a hand in to knock it out.
Once again, right where he needs to be, perfectly positioned. You're going to see again the pressure on the outside, makes the quarterback scramble. Cole Bullock right there, that's a nice job. Again, a well-coached defensive unit, seemingly always in correct position here tonight. And that has transferred over to the donut here thus far for Southwestern.
Snoke, Bullock, and Williams with interceptions for the Cougars so far today. And otherwise, the defense has just really held Southwestern to nothing at this point in time. Jaguars under 100 yards offensively. As Acosta's punt, a wobbly one, back to the 50-yard line. Caught by Cal Littles at the 50. And that is where the ball will be stopped. We'll say the 49 of the Cougars, actually, and COC's offense will take over for their second drive here in the second half.
Going back, talking about the defense, Southwestern has found some success prolonging drives, getting things going, but not ever the big chunk plays. College of the Canyons has not been on its heels at any point here tonight. Like you said, maybe a 6-8 play drive would be the longest, but not anything more than that. And that's, again, under these conditions, to be able to keep your defense fresh off the field and come back in and be able to be impactful. Snap in and snap out.
Longest play from scrimmage for Southwestern has been 8 yards. A rush here on 1st down. There's Samaj Freeman on the carry, and he gets a huge chunk. We'll call it 10. 1st down for the Cougars, and a nice run for Samaj Freeman.
Samaj Freeman out of Oaks Christian getting his work in here tonight. And again, I would look for more of this. You've got this big offensive line here tonight. You've got 3 to 4 seemingly capable backs at any time you can rotate in. Let's line up and tee off.
Fouts will throw onto the near side. Pass caught. Trying to turn up field that time for the Cougars was Giovanni Masick, but he couldn't get much more than a yard. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 as he's forced out.
And again, we already mentioned it before, but you're in control here. You've got this lead. Bringing out some more of the toys, so to speak, getting everybody involved here tonight. I'd love to see it.
You talk about Samaj Freeman on that big 10-yard chunk, a 3-star running back out of high school out of Oaks Christian, a guy that got a little bit of play time last year, but not a lot. Had offers from New Mexico, Nevada, Northern Arizona, and Valparaiso, but decided to come here to COC, try and change his fortunes a little bit. And getting a chance here today. Fouts rolling out of the pocket here on 2nd down. Sidesteps a man and able to pick up positive yardage on the play. Gets about 3 yards and a couple of late flags. Has a little bit too much aggression from Southwestern. You'll see maybe on the replay. A little late hit on Fouts that time.
And look at number 62, Oscar Adolfsson, one of our international student athletes out of Sweden. Personal protector there. Does a nice job getting out front. Just getting enough on his man. And Fouts able to scamper up. And there's the flag. You see Fouts popping up asking for it, and he didn't have to ask too hard because the official was right there and saw it.
It's Jacob Galliana that gets called for the foul. It's a personal foul. It moves it up 15 yards. The Cougars moving the ball here on their second drive of the 3rd quarter. And it's 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line of Southwestern.
And just outside of range, but again, probably another opportunity here to see this red zone offense and all the things that it brings to the table.
Fouts in the shotgun, Freeman to his right. They'll fake the handoff. Fouts on an option run, trying to get the edge, and will pick up 3 yards. But you see some of the speed from Fouts here a little bit. A little different wrinkle for the Cougars.
Yeah, again, Fouts or Perry, whoever it may be, both have shown the ability to throw a nice ball, to move around the pocket when they need to, and to no hesitation to just turn up field and get there.
And that felt like a straight option. It's been maybe since 2005 since we ran a straight option offense. So a little different here. Look for the wrinkle for the Cougars, which is nice to see. Fouts in the shotgun here on 2nd down and 8. Freeman to his left this time. Will pitch to Freeman. Gets the catch. Has to try and beat a man around the edge. Gets drugged down at the 21-yard line. They say he stays in bounds, so negative yardage there. It's just a good defensive play by Southwestern.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You see Freeman there trying to get the extension out, but just wasn't enough. Gets taken out, kind of twisted around here.
It was Tatum on the tackle. Actually scratched that. It was Campillo on the tackle. So to leave us at 3rd and 9, a loss of a yard. Fouts will walk up to the line of scrimmage this time and communicate to the offensive line the protection as the Cougars go back to work. 3rd and 9 from the 21-yard line. Fouts will hold, trying to escape some pressure, dumps it off, looking, pass incomplete. Was trying to connect with Damon Banks that time and just couldn't connect on the pass.
Yeah, definitely had a guy down the sideline. Protection again there from number 62, Oscar Adolfson, and just wasn't able to connect. But again, pushing the ball down the field, working your offense, getting everybody involved. It's going to bring up 4th down here, and we'll see what the Cougars elect to do.
Looks like they're going to have Ty Morrison come out and try a field goal here. Spotted at the 28, so it's a 38-yarder. Well within Ty's range. Last year his long was 46. There's the kick up, plenty of leg on it. Put it through the uprights, scored for Ty Morrison. Field goal is good from 38 yards. The Cougars with a 29-0 lead. Positive yardage, positive points. You'll take it any way you can get it right now for COC.
Yeah, you'll take the 3 points. What I like more importantly is you get to reinstill the confidence into your kicker. You know, you line him up. He had a couple close call misses here in the first half, but you send him back out there. You show Ty Morrison you believe in him, and he goes out and executes for you.
You want to know what the Cougars' secret weapon is this season? Let me tell you, it's 100% that barbecue smell, Jesse, from Busy Bees Cafe. Wafting over the field every game. I'm telling you, the opponents are just distracted by it, the great smokehouse smell. Come check it out at the next Cougar home game. Busy Bees Cafe, one of our nice partners here as well for Cougar football.
Yeah, Matt, I was excited when I woke up this morning knowing it was game day. I got even more excited when I walked through the gate and saw Busy Bees set up. And like you said, that smell just fills Cougar Stadium. And I got to tell you, that's a draw here for the fan base. Come get some Busy Bees barbecue.
You know, I got to go down and ask some secrets so I can work them on the trigger at home. So we go back to work as Morrison kicks this one away. It'll go out of the back of the end zone. And a touchback. Well, we have you here. If you're interested and you want to keep the cameras on, really the cameras rolling for us, we need your help. If you'd like to donate to the Cougar Sports Network and the Cougar Athletics programs as a whole, or sponsor if you have a local business and want to get your advertisements out there as well, we can do that for you. Keep the lights on, keep the cameras on, keep us coming. You can donate to the Cougar football program. You can also email chad.peters@canyons.edu. He's our athletic director. He'll help you out looking for a sponsorship opportunity, maybe a commercial here on the Cougar Sports Network, a live read, something along those lines. Make sure you email chad.peters@canyons.edu and click that link. Go to the QR code right now on your screen and go donate to Cougar football, trying to get to that $30,000 mark as I read numbers correctly as we go back to work on 1st down. Couple of yard gain for Southwestern, but nothing big.
Well, look at Reggie Jones run near sideline to sideline with this man in his sights and deliver the blow here to the sideline. Like you said, just a small gain. But if we can highlight Reggie Jones coming with a full head of steam, and right there to meet him, that's a nice job by our cameraman down on the sideline to capture that.
As Jay Gordon, the running back out of New Orleans, Louisiana, into the game for the first time today for Southwestern. As Ammon back to throw, he's got pressure, spins away. Cougars flushed him out, throws it out of play. And again, COC in the backfield. Obisu back there to flush him out.
I think I mistakenly credited Reggie Jones last play, but it was Obisu as well. 55 out there running around.
Sophomore out of Worcester, Massachusetts, Duarte Memorial High School. Getting a chance to run here. Had a tackle last week, 6'3", 235, big body. Another big body on the defensive side. The Cougars they seem built on the defensive side this year.
Yeah, big, fast, and strong, well coached. That's going to translate over to success. And so far, in the first 2 weeks of the season, we have seen that.
Seems like guys that genuinely enjoy putting some pain on the other side as well, like to play contact football, and certainly what you want out of the defensive side is Ammon throwing down the sideline, intercepted by the Cougars, picked off by Henry Ikahihifu, I believe, has the interception. No, excuse me, it's actually Quentin Moten on the outside.
Quentin Moten getting his chance to come over and celebrate with his teammates. And then maybe another appearance of the turnover chain. Again, a tremendous job just being where he needed to be. But, Matt, it all starts up front. You see the pressure. Quarterback had to scramble around and just throw this ball up. And there's big Quentin Moten able to pick it out of the air and turn it around the other way. And College of the Canyons is hyped down there, ready to return the action on the offensive side, looking for some more points.
Moten, his first interception of the season, the fourth interception of the ball game for the Cougars, as credit the linebackers and the defensive backs. They've been ball hawks all day so far today.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous effort all around, and you're seeing that play out here tonight.
Change at quarterback for the Cougars here on first down. They'll hand off to Samaj Freeman as Noah Staples in there at quarterback now. So Cam Fouts gets a nice little run, puts up some points, had some yardage. Now we see Noah Staples for the first time. Staples last week, 2 of 3, 11 yards through the air. Had a 97.5% efficiency rating last week, so gets a run here.
Staples out of Piedmont, South Carolina. And again, Matt, it speaks to the depth of this team to be able to send in your backup quarterback, your third-string quarterback, your offensive line rotation, your defensive front, and not experience a drop-off in any of those positions.
Freeman breaks a tackle, bounces it to the outside, inside the 20, down to the 10, finally drug out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Good run from Samaj Freeman that time as he gets a first down and more for the Cougars.
So again, pick your poison. Damon Banks, the guy in the first half, able to get into the end zone, able to see the bulk of the carries, and then you come right back with Samaj Freeman bouncing it out to the outside with another positive gain. College of the Canyons seemingly unstoppable here. And we're getting to that point, Matt, where we might see that jumbo package here in the next next sequence.
I want to see him give it to Steven Eakins. He's already had a rush attempt today. I want to see him go back to it. As we go here on first and goal from the 7-yard line, Samaj Freeman cuts it back to his left, trying to get to the end zone. He'll be brought down at about the 2-yard line. But a really good cut. Foot in the ground, goes to his left, gets big yards.
Yeah, I thought he was in right there. As he, like you said, just kind of sliced his way over. And just like earlier in the game, he couldn't have been more than an inch or two away. And that big offensive line moving bodies up front.
Late flag, really late flag thrown right at the line of scrimmage by the official. So Donovan Reyes is going to be called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And so instead of being second and goal from the 1-yard line, it's second and goal from now the 16-yard line. And so a tough penalty against COC.
Tough penalty. You feel like he probably said something, did something. He's certainly being called over to discuss it here tonight. Again, one of those penalties, that's the heat of the moment, the passion, the emotion out there. You're driving, you got your teammates behind you. But that's something you're going to want to clean up long term and as we get further down into the season.
It's unfortunate because I was thinking they were going to let Samaj Freeman maybe finish it off. So now they got to go back to work. Second and goal from the 16-yard line. Staples in there at quarterback. It's a freshman out of Piedmont, South Carolina, going back to work. Has Freeman right next to him. Will hand off, and Freeman met in the backfield. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Staples still has it, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. That's the second time today it's confused everybody, including all of us in the booth.
Definitely a little bit of misdirection and trickery there, but he bounced it outside and got this touchdown. And again, our statistics crew was on that, but the play-by-play.
Yeah, well, I was terrible. God, I'm horrible. I'm get out of here. Put the headset down. Well, I don't have AJ hollering in my ear who has the carry. I need it.
But like you said, Noah Staples now making his mark on this game, earning a chance to maybe continue leading this offense. And again, that's exciting, Matt. When you can just rotate in your quarterbacks in and out. You've got a plethora of weapons to throw out there. You've got 2, 3, 4 capable running backs. I mean, does it get any?
Tell me this. You thought Samaj Freeman had the football right there. That is a heck of a play by Noah Staples to keep that.
Yep, and a couple different times tonight. We've, if they're fooling us up here, imagine what
they're doing down on the field.
They're seeing down on the field.
There was a swarm of white jerseys around one guy, and Staples was gone with the football the other way.
Again, we spoke about a little bit, the extra wrinkles, the evolution of this offense, some things that we haven't seen as much of in recent years, now coming to fruition here. College of the Canyons with this athletic type and skill set of players, able to just really pull out all the stops.
So 36-0 lead for College of the Canyons. 5:12 to go here in the third quarter. And you're getting it from everywhere at this point in time. Noah Staples with a 16-yard touchdown run on a beautiful fake on the option play. And again, like we said, we haven't seen an option maybe since 2005 here at Cougar Stadium. And COC running it nicely a few times today. And a good job on special teams. Nowhere to go for the Southwestern kick return. Trying to bring it out from the 5-yard line that time was Cater Diop, and he just didn't have any room to work. So the Cougars will go back to work or defensively will go back to work with 5:06. And trying to keep Southwestern off the board and really just from getting able to do anything at this point in time.
Yeah, I think now it's, the philosophy is keep doing what you're doing. We're going to rotate in some guys. We're going to get everybody a chance to play and, reward them for the spring and summer of hard work. This is what you play for, getting those snaps, being able to be seen, and hopefully move on to the next level. There's another one of those up-the-middle type runs. Southwestern seems to be content with that offensive philosophy. And again, the Cougar defensive front has been there to meet them each and every time.
4-yard carry on first down for Southwestern. So we go 2nd and 6 here. John Aguirre's taking their time now. And it looks like we get the reemergence of Dylan McCann in the backfield here under center. Southwestern play action fake. McCann trying to run. Not going to have much room as he's chased out of bounds on the near sideline by Will Mafu.
Again, a nice flash of speed by Will Mafu coming over, forcing him out of bounds. Looked like he was in a full sprint. And
loss of a yard on the play. And so we'll go, actually, they gave him a gain of a yard on the play, I'm sorry. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 here. Southwestern in the shotgun. McCann, low snap right at the belt. Throws, pass on the outside, caught. Good enough for a Southwestern first down. It's been a long time since Southwestern's had a first down, and they finally get one here. Move the chains.
Yeah, just kind of slipped the tackler there on the sideline, was able to get just enough.
So first down for Southwestern. So they still look at the sidelines, getting ready to go once again. McCann, freshman out of Tampa, Florida, back in there at quarterback. Or McCain, I should actually say. So we go back to work. Low snap. He's going to try and run it as the Cougars were in the backfield with him. I think it was a running play, and COC had it scouted well. And it's a good job by McCain just to get positive yardage here.
Again, you can take those, the 2, 3, 4-yard gains, as long as you prevent the big chunk offense. And that has been the case all night here for the Cougars.
2nd down and 7. Ball at the 36-yard line of Southwestern. 2:50 to go here in the third quarter. Still another 15 minutes to go after this. Fourth quarter coming up after the next 2:40. So still a long way to go in this one, really. But a 36-0 lead for College of the Canyons. Can't ask much more. Run here, and it's going to stay on the ground, and the Cougars going to swallow up the back before he gets more than 2 or 3 yards. And I believe it was Jay Gordon on the run that time for Southwestern.
I mean, I feel like that offense isn't going to do anything but run out the clock here. Eventually, Southwestern is going to have to take a shot, force the issue, push the ball down the field. I know they haven't had that success, so maybe you're hesitant to do so, especially with these guys flying around, but it's now or never if you're going to try and get some points on the board.
As we go here on 3rd and 4, McCann trying to run, and he gets to the 40-yard line, and that's it. They say the 39. And so that's going to bring up 4th down. And I think Southwestern going to decide to punt this one away.
Again, not what I would have expected there. A little bit confused, but if it's not there, it's not there. And you don't want to force yourself into another mistake. So I guess going the safe route here.
So this, not a good punt. Ball bounces away. And the Cougars going to be able to take the man down to the backfield, as it was Acosta, and he couldn't handle it. And it's going to be a negative yardage and a turnover on downs. So the COC special teams gets a big takeaway.
Well, in an absolute worst-case scenario for Southwestern, you know, you talk about, okay, we don't want to push the ball down the field. We're not going to throw. We're content to just pack it in and punt, and then that happens. And you put the Cougar offense back out on the field, a short field, 25 yards. And, you know, haven't been stopped here tonight other than stops imposed by themselves, penalties and otherwise. So, again, here we go.
As the Cougars will hand off here on 1st down, Staples to Freeman. And actually it's not Freeman, I think it's Ja'Kai Torres.
Ja'Kai Torres, now another one of those guys getting some reps here tonight. And again, you love the hard running style. These guys, you know, they're taking hits. They got 2-3 dudes on them, still churning those legs, still pumping the arms, getting upfield the best they can. Wasn't much there on that one, but again, you appreciate the effort.
So we go here on 2nd down and 11. It was a loss of a yard. Staples going to throw, looking towards the end zone, and it's just a step ahead of the intended target, looking like it was Tavius Jenkins.
Yeah, again, another nice tight ball right down the middle. Feel like Jenkins probably just got a little held up on his route. Kind of a timing play there, and it just, you know, didn't time out correctly.
As we go on 3rd and 11 here. Sorry, I'm laughing at some conversations going on in the booth near us.
We have got some characters up here.
We
that's
certainly
for sure.
do. It's a lot of fun. Flag, false start on the offense, so it'll push it back. It'll call it 3rd and a long way.
And I should add to that some characters, but the best in the business. We have a tremendous stat crew, PA announcer, scoreboard operator, and live stream team. Happy to have them here each and every week here at Cougar Stadium.
So we'll call it 3rd and 16 now, all the way back to the 31-yard line of Southwestern. So a little bit of a stall, a little bit of a backup on COC, a penalty here, pushing things back a little bit further. As we continue to sweat it out up in the booth and we go back to work. 27 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Can't imagine what it feels like down the field, how hot is it up here right now. As Staples back to throw. Looking deep, has a man, pass caught in the end zone. Touchdown, COC. And once again, there's that man, Jesse. Josh Smith on the catch.
Josh Smith, somebody ought to be selling that young man's jersey down on the field, because after tonight he is going to have a lot of fans. A tremendous athlete, as we've seen several times tonight. And I think, Matt, maybe the Cougars' new go-to weapon.
Especially over the middle. I know he's listed as a tight end, but certainly able to break away from some defenders, especially in that matchup against the linebacker. Able to win it there. 2nd touchdown reception of the night. 1st touchdown pass for Noah Staples here this season.
Yeah, already you can tell this guy is going to be a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. And as long as the Cougar quarterbacks, whichever one it may be,
get in there and throw the ball,
can find him, they're going to have success there.
So there's a flag on the extra point. It's 42-0 COC. We'll wait on what the flag is here. And I think it's actually an offside flag against Southwestern. Oh, so there was 2 penalties actually on the play. Offside, running into the kicker, both declined. Extra point is good. Southwestern get the ball back now, but the Cougars now with a 43-0 lead. And so the offense clicking everywhere. No Staples with a big touchdown pass. Striking that time from 31 yards to find Josh Smith.
And real quick, Matt, I just want to give a shout out to our fans and viewers around the nation and across the nation and around the globe. We've got players in this program from Florida, Arkansas, Texas, Iowa, South Carolina, Michigan, Oregon, Nevada, North Carolina, Germany, Sweden, and spots in between. So again, we appreciate your viewership and tuning in for Cougar football.
That was kind of a weird play there. Keeter Diop signaled like I'm not going to catch the ball, then caught it and ran with it. And the far side official blew the whistle down. You take a look at it here, it wasn't necessarily a fair catch signal. Kind of missed it there on the replay. It was just a couple of seconds behind. But he kind of initially, maybe we'll see it here on this look, Jesse. Yep, and I think we missed it the whole way, but right before he goes like this with it, he kind of waved his hands, and it's going to be a penalty.
Waved his hands and then thought better of it, wanted to try and make a play.
And so the ball at the 25-yard line, so it's essentially a fair catch touchback anyway. So we go back to work. $18 seconds to go here in the third quarter. As McCain going to throw, pass nearly intercepted on the near sideline by the Cougars. So 2nd down and 10, still 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter. So we go back to work. Ball on the 25-yard line. McCain in the backfield takes the shotgun snap and an empty set. Pass nearly intercepted on the far sideline that time, as diving over to try and make the play for the Cougars was Tooney. Was it Tooney that time, or was it actually Quentin Moten? I think it was 18. It was Tooney Ankahifu on the outside and covers that time. Tooney, of course, a quarterback last year for the Cougars, but now playing linebacker just like his brother last season.
Yeah, a little bit of position change. Maybe Cougar coaching staff thinking it's in the blood. Let's get him over on the defensive side. You remember Henry Ikahifu, one of those transfers for the Cougars, now playing at Cal Berkeley. So we look forward to watching him the rest of the 22 campaign as well.
If Tooney plays anything like his brother, we'll see some big hits this year. McCann going to run it this time, and he's going to be tripped up by Ikahifu, but not after he got the first down. It's an 11-yard run. First down for Southwestern, and that ends the third quarter. But the Cougars pretty much in control. Foot on the gas the whole way, 43-0. We'll take a timeout. Fourth quarter action when we come back. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. Cougars with a 43-0 lead as we go to the fourth quarter. Josh Smith with a couple of touchdown receptions today, the last one from Noah Staples. And the Cougars have been rolling on offense and on defense.
And go when it comes to your athletic future with 17 intercollegiate sports programs.
As we go back to work, sorry about that. As we go 1st and 10 for Southwestern, and a flag immediately on the play. False start on the offense will likely back up Southwestern. Penalty goes against David Garabella, excuse me. And so no time has run off, and Southwestern backs up 5 yards here in the fourth quarter.
Well, here we go, Matt. Final 15. Like you said, Cougars foot on the gas. 43-0. About to outpace their point total from last week. And we'll see what Southwestern has if they can get on the board here.
McCain just going to tuck it and run, and he's going to get out of bounds before he gets contacted by any Cougars. Delamonte Barnes was one of the guys running over to get him. I think he saw some big bodies, saw some footsteps, and decided, I'm just going to get out of bounds before I get hit. Which I don't blame him. I do the same thing. I'd probably just curl up and, I don't want to get hit. And so they say clock continues on. It's 43-0 Canyons. Credit Dylan McCain. He's been playing hard. I mean, he's had a couple of runs. This is his second time out there today, trying to get something going for Southwestern, and this time he just tucks it and runs again. Plenty of room to work. Takes a huge pop, as running him down that time was David Francis, and lays the wood on him.
Wow, what a hit. Look at this replay right here. Just lines him up dead to sights and takes him down. And I'll tell you what.
And actually, that was Sean Miller, not David Francis.
That will make you think twice about scrambling down the field. You keep taking hits like that. Again, though, for Southwestern, you want to build. You want to get some positive plays, something to
what's on the board, yeah.
Yeah, something to build on. This is going to be a long bus ride home. You want to end with at least something to come home and talk about.
Cougars with just a 3-man front. Southwestern will pitch. And a big run here for Jazzo as he breaks a couple of tackles and gets across midfield into Cougar territory all the way up to the 32-yard line.
And there's that chunk play there. You get a couple of those. If you're Southwestern, you've been struggling all night to get any kind of rhythm. Again, fourth quarter, maybe the quarterback change, maybe, you're finally starting to put it together. If you can build on those, it's going to be a much more pleasant film session on Monday, where you turn the page and kind of look to the week 3 and see what you can do.
They get Palomar next week, so there's still plenty to build on, as you said. Still a long way to go until they get to their league season when they start against Golden West on October 15th. But you get another North Central Division opponent in Palomar, who we saw last year and is a decent team. Beat them last year as well. Did Palomar beat Southwestern? As this time, a sack way back in the backfield, all the way back to the 45-yard line of the Cougars.
Was that James Jeanette?
I think so.
The 6'5" freshman out of Durham, North Carolina, finally getting a chance out there tonight. And again, he's another one of those big athletic bodies. You set him up on the edge, let him go. You're going to find the opposing quarterback in a world of hurt.
All the way back to the 44-yard line of College of the Canyons. So big loss that time, and McCain was trying to scramble and just could not get away, and it shows you the speed of Jeanette as well. Is McCain going to throw quickly here? That one bounces. They said it's a forward pass. It looked pretty down the line to me, but incomplete, they say.
We'll take a look at it here. One of those could go either way, depending on your angle.
I mean, we're pretty much on the 50, and that's right about where the throw was. It looked like it was pretty down the line to me, but regardless, incomplete pass, 3rd and 21. Ball back at the 44-yard line. Maybe a little, we'll keep it safe if you're the officials here. And they'll try it again, same exact play. Robinson not going to get anything out of it. Actually loses yards all the way back to the 47-yard line. I think they'll give him the 46. Nope, looks like they are going to spot him at the 47. The defense just shows up again, man.
I mean, seemingly had their heart set on that play and wanted to run it, and the defense was ready for it again. I don't know why you don't go down the field and at least try and get something here. But again, you know, you have your athletes and you have your schemes that you know or that you want to try and get to work for you. And I think that was the case right there.
So we'll kick it away again. Julian Acosta back to punt for, I'd have to look it up, but it's been a lot today. He's been very active, very busy today. This time he'll get this one away. Fair catch called for and made by Cal Littles right at the 15-yard line of College of the Canyons. That's the 7th, maybe the 8th punt of the day for Acosta, who's punted for over 200 yards, and that's been the most yards of the game for Southwestern, as they've been held under 100 so far in the ball game.
And I don't think that's a stat that any coach ever wants to see. Special team enthusiasts will love to see it. But again,
make sure you donate College of the Canyons. Click that QR code there. Still trying to reach that goal of $30,000. Help out the student athletes. Let them get their books, anything else they need. We just want to support these guys. They play hard every night. You get to watch them and have some fun. As we go back to work on the offense for COC, starting at their own 15-yard line. Handoff this time on first down. Along the inside, the pile pushed. A new quarterback in there as Bryce Dixon takes over.
Again, Matt, I think we're going to see a lot of the same here.
Mm-hmm.
Line up, hand the ball off. You know, you hear the coaches talking about it. This is why you run. This is why you run sprints. This is why you train all spring and summer. You get to this point of the game and you seemingly just impose your will on the other front and close out this game.
Ja'Kai Torres, the feature back now. He had the rush there for a couple of yards. We'll give him 2. Torres, four carries for 22 last week. Flag offside going to be called against Southwestern here. Good thing for the Cougars, too, is it was a bad snap.
Yeah.
Dixon couldn't handle it, had to pick it up off the turf and went down for a loss of yards.
Flag saved him on that one, that's for sure. And again, this is going to be the second week where we've seen 4 quarterbacks get action for the Cougars. That is going to be a stuffed stat sheet.
It's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
When you really think about it, if you're COC, you're getting everybody some early opportunities here. We saw it last year a few times.
Yep.
Some injuries, some guys having to come in and play late in the year. This is a chance for them to get some tape, get used to playing the game, get used to being out there with their teammates.
Yep.
And now you've got options if you're COC.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Not only do you get to prove yourself, but you get to be seen on tape.
False start on the offense, offside, maybe encroachment on the defense. It looked like the defense was pushing the offensive line back before the ball snapped, so we'll wait and see. The official's going to huddle up here. Either way, it's a penalty on one of the lines.
And Matt, getting seen on tape, what does that lead to? That leads to being recruited, being offered, moving on to the next level. We had roughly 30 players last year transfer on to four-year schools, just a few of them. Abdul Latif Adu, Houston, TQ Gilmore, Utah, Henry Ikahihifu, Cal, Jonathan Thomas, Nevada, Danny Valenzuela, ASU, Dean Miller, Kansas, Cameron Bell, Hawaii, Justice Spates, Middle Tennessee State. And I could go on and on. There's not enough room on this paper to list all the gentlemen that transferred to four-year schools last year. So again, those opportunities come by virtue of working hard, earning your time on the field, and making the most of it when your number is called.
So first down after back-to-back offsides penalties. And we're waiting on the clock. So they're trying to reset the clock to 10:25. And they do. So first and 10, ball spotted at the Cougar 27-yard line. Dixon will hand off this time. Torres breaks a couple of tackles, through some arm tackles, enough for a first down. A nice 12, 13-yard gain for Ja'Kai Torres. Big boys up front doing a nice job that time, piling through. And Torres with a big chunk, and the Cougars move the chains. We have a second. Let's thank our crew. Mike Zepeda, our director today. Of course, Jesse Munoz, the color commentator. George Aguila, our score clock operator today, an intern here for the year. And our camera operator out on the field, Austin Bordeguez, doing a nice job getting some shots down on the field. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the Cougar Sports Network. As the Cougars will keep it, another keeper this time for Dixon, and he's trying to find some room to run, make something happen across midfield inside the 45, all the way down to the Southwestern 42-yard line.
Well, he was moving and shaking and curving and going upfield all at the same time. And again, you love the effort, the enthusiasm, the willingness to go put your body on the line and get those yards. And again, this is going to be a fun team to watch. If the first 2 weeks are any indication of what we can expect, I see a lot of bodies, a lot of athleticism, a lot of strength, and guys that can play seemingly at a moment's notice, get out there and make big plays.
Well, SCV TV is one of our proud partners here on the Cougar Sports Network, I should say, and on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The Community Center is a Santa Clarita's only television station bringing you local arts, culture, history, and entertainment programming 24/7. And this year, a new wrinkle, some sports programming as well. Watch with Spectrum, Channel 20, AT&T, Channel 99, Apple TV, Roku TV, and SCVTV.com, or follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can watch the replay of this game on Monday night at what time?
Monday night, starting at 7 p.m. We have our own Cougar edition of Monday Night Football, so tune in for that. And Matt, real quick, we already shouted out our live stream crew. I want to give a special shout out to our statistician making her first appearance in the booth here tonight, Miss Jasmine Hall, along with several veterans from our team, Lauren Anderson, AJ Wilding, Brendan Moskell, all doing a tremendous job out here. And we are thankful to have them, both for the live stream, the live stats, the box scores that you'll see on cocathletics.com, and everything else in between. A nice job tonight, team.
So we look ahead here. We go back to work after Southwestern had one of the defensive linemen down on the field, got helped off by the athletic training staff, who's been busy today for Southwestern. The Cougars will go back to work on the offensive side. 9 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from the Southwestern 42-yard line. Is Dixon in there at quarterback? Torres in there at running back. Snap goes over Dixon's head. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to still be on his feet, and he's going to be drugged back all the way to the 35-yard line of COC. He should have just went down at the 45, but hindsight's 20/20.
Again, moments after we credit him for the willingness to move down the field and take the hit and extend your offense. That's one of those plays that on Monday it's going to be, hey, I like the effort, but tuck it in and
just
go
tuck
down.
It and go down.
We're up 43-0. It's the fourth quarter.
Don't
you got a
fumble the ball.
long season ahead of you, young man. Again, great job doing what he did and able to secure that.
We talked about the willingness to make plays, the willingness to move ahead. This team going to be exciting. Next week, a really tough test for COC here at home against Fullerton, who took the Cougars to the edge last year. You talk about a game where COC in week 3 had to do everything they could. The defense really won them that game. Had four turnovers, including 3 interceptions in that ball game. There's a run here for COC. I believe Robin Virgilini in for the first time today. Picks up a nice chunk. Gets back out to about the 47-yard line. We'll call it the 46, as that's where they'll spot it. But talking about Southwestern coming in next, Fullerton coming in next week. A tough test here at home for COC. Maybe the first real one of the season.
Yeah, a program very much in the vein of College of the Canyons. Always competitive, always strong, always in the conversation for a conference title and state playoff appearance. So again, there have been some battles between those two programs in years past, and that should be a fun one. That's going to be right here under the lights, 6 p.m. next Saturday, and we will, of course, have the free live stream on the Cougar Sports Network.
Fullerton right now in a battle with Cerritos, as we just looked. 25-24, Cerritos actually in the lead. So that one a tough one at Fullerton. So maybe an angry Fullerton team depending on the outcome of that one coming in. A little bit tougher test it seems like for them this week. So the Cougars up 43-0, 4th and 22, so they'll kick it away. Give Ty Morrison a chance to try and pin something inside the 20, work on something going into next week.
And Matt, we talk about the early season miscues, the rust, putting it all together. I feel like week 1 and week 2, okay, you feel those things out. Week 3, you're getting ready to go into conference.
Yep.
You're halfway through your preseason, as it were. And so those games, gain in importance, gain in terms of the competition that you're going to face, the well-roundedness of that competition. And so this will be a fun one.
And the games get tougher and tougher as the weeks go on as we look. This one punted away. Diop going to handle it at the 10-yard line. Going to try and bounce around. Not much there. Maybe a return of 3 yards, maybe 5. as he fielded it right about the 12. And the Cougar special team does a good job. When we look at the schedule coming up for COC, as you said, Fullerton here at home next week on Saturday. 6 o'clock start time should be a good one. We hope it'll be a good matchup. Then you go out on the road 2 weeks in a row. Palomar, which will be a tough test. We saw Palomar here last year. And Riverside on the road. And that one's a weird one. 2 o'clock at Ramona High School. Weird time of the day, weird start time in Riverside. Usually a Southern California contender year in and year out.
Yeah, I believe a state championship appearance last year. Won the season that was played before that. So again, two powerhouse teams meeting up again. And again, Matt, the road trips of those, the mileage that you have to, the change in your schedule that you have to account for. You never know what might happen in those types of contests.
So a couple of good games. The games just get tougher from here on out. Remember, we'll actually have homecoming, I believe, on the 13th against Bakersfield. That's a Thursday night game. Should be a fun one. That'll be our league opener.
Very excited about that one. A homecoming celebration here for College of the Canyons, our first since the 50th anniversary year of 2019. Excited to welcome everybody back to campus and back to Cougar Stadium. That's going to be a Thursday night game, like you said, Matt, the conference opener. And so stay tuned, COC Athletics and at COC Athletics on social media. We'll have all the details for you as we get closer to that point.
And you can always check COCathletics.com for the full football schedule, as well as all the rest of the schedules for all the men's and women's programs here at College of the Canyons. We've got soccer, we've got volleyball going on right now. Next week, a big week here on the Cougar Sports Network. Soccer on Monday, the men back in action. We've got volleyball back in action on Wednesday, and then soccer again. I believe the women back at home on Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that sounds right. 17 intercollegiate sports here, and all of them having success here in the early going of their fall season. So again, we invite you to come in and check out some of the other programs as well.
Cougars with a stout play on defense again in the backfield to make a tackle as McCain was trying to run with it, and there was a trio of Cougars there to knock him down. I didn't see who got first contact, but still, COC's defense just continues to push, and it's almost as though they smell blood in the water, 43-0, just trying to keep going.
Well, it's instinctual. That's what they're taught. You swarm to the ball, you come up, you make a play. It doesn't matter if you're up 43-0, if you're up 43-42, if it's 0-0. That is the way these young men are taught to play, and you're going to see it the whole 60 minutes.
2nd and 20. Ball spotted at the 8-yard line of Southwestern. McCain going to throws it onto the near side. Had his receiver fall down. It was a good route and a good throw. He just got unlucky as the guy he was intending to get the ball to just slipped and fell.
If you look back at this Southwestern team, they have had some unluck, here in the early going. A couple tough breaks, some miscues brought on by themselves. Again, just never able to put it all together here tonight, Credit to the Cougar defense for doing their job, and you gotta think Southwestern's going to go back to the drawing board next week, get some of these things cleaned up, and make a run at Palomar, their geographic rival, as it were.
See the Cougars, Allen Hancock, East Los Angeles, Ventura, and Long Beach, the rest of the schedule. As we go back to work here, 3rd down. McCain throwing downfield, has a man pass, caught in stride, and here's a big one for Southwestern. Davis behind the defense. It's going to take it all the way to the end zone for a Southwestern touchdown. Call it 92 yards, catch and run, and a good strike from Southwestern here late in the ball game.
And we talked about it. That's exactly what Southwestern needed to do. You force the issue, you push the ball downfield. Receiver just burned his guy and was able to get down the sideline. And so, again, success for Southwestern. Finally able to put a scoring drive together. For the Cougars, there's a little disappointment there in terms of just, you want that 0, you want that donut up on the board, but nothing to hang your head about.
So the biggest play from scrimmage in the ball game goes to Southwestern. Now over 177 yards of total offense they get on the board. The extra point try from Acosta is up and through. So 43-7, 4:58 to go in the ball game. Yeah, you don't like it if you're COC, but at the same time, all things considered, it's been a pretty solid performance from your defense here today. They've done what they needed to do, 4 interceptions. They've stopped it down. Other than this fourth quarter, really didn't allow Southwestern to do anything. And you have to like it going forward into next week, especially against a Fullerton team knowing that they're going to run the football a lot. That's kind of Fullerton's MO going forward. We know we have a couple of teams on the schedule that are like that. East Los Angeles as well, an MO that runs the football. That's kind of how they operate. You got to like your run defense so far here today.
Oh, 100%. And, you know, not only just the run defense produced by your starters, but, you know, throughout the game, no matter what combination, whatever personnel was in there, it was seemingly the same result. So, again, Matt, like you said, things are going to get tougher along the way. You've got some hard-nosed, strong-built programs that you're going to be lined up against. And so I think if you're College of the Canyons, you take this one, and you're always looking to improve.
Yep.
You know, Coach Ted Iacenda will tell you, we played well, we won this game, now we turn the page, we go back to work on Monday.
Coach is going to be the first one to say, yeah, we got 4 picks today. We only gave up 38 yards on the ground. We should have had 7 picks and only given up 15 yards on the ground. Hey, he's the first one to tell you we got to do better. So 43-7, we're waiting for Acosta to kick it away. The Cougars will get another run here, and I would imagine they go into a 4-minute offense, try and keep the ball on the ground, run the clock out as much as they can, and just not get anybody hurt going into next week really is kind of the goal at this point in time, I think, if you're COC. As Little's going to bring this one out from the 5-yard line, trying to make something happen. He had a big return last week, cuts it around a man, trying to get to the corner, still on his feet across the 30 to the 40-yard line, across midfield. It's actually Zion Slade. I thought it was Little's. It's actually Zion Slade. They switched sides, and Zion Slade with a big return back across midfield all the way to the 42-yard line.
Zion Slade, again, showing that burst, showing that ability to change directions, shiftiness, get up the field. You know, that play will excite your teammate, get your sideline up and going. But imagine that, you know, a couple weeks from now against a,
against a Fullerton, against a Palomar, against a Riverside, against anybody coming down the schedule.
You have that type of special teams weapon that can be unleashed at any time. Put your team in business out across an opponent's territory, good things are going to happen.
Dixon back to work on the offensive side. We'll hand off here on first down. Running and catching the corner was Ja'Kai Torres. Gets a nice chunky yardage. We'll call it 9. It'll bring second down and 1.
And like you said, Matt, you're letting that play clock tick down. You're taking your time. Going up there, focused on executing, because that's always what you want to do. Play the game the right way, mistake-free, mistake and penalty-free. But again, the Cougars know what the result's going to be here. And I can tell already, eager to celebrate with this home crowd.
You can see, actually, you might not be able to see it on your screen, but we can actually see the defense. Dan Corbett still talking, still coaching right now. The whole defense surrounding him right now, trying to tell him what they need to do going in forward, as they might get one more run. Torres with a first down. Clock will stop, and I think they'll wind it back up as soon as they get the chains set up and the ball set down, and that's indeed what they'll do. A couple more first downs for the Cougars, and can put the clock really to bed inside of 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Matt, back to your point about Coach Dan Corbett continuing to coach. That's how you become great. You don't accept your successes and, sit back on your laurels. You continue to work. You continue to improve. You do the little things right. And the fact that they're down in the fourth quarter, up 43-7, still preaching those things, just goes to show you what College of the Canyons football is all about.
Well, they're telling, it's your shot when you get out on the field. Get some tape, get out of here, go on to the next place. That's what the history and the tradition is. As a run here for the Cougars, Robin Virgilini with a nice little chunk picks up 10, and the clock will stop for a moment as they move the chains. So Virgilini with a nice carry. He had 5 carries for 17 yards last year. Gets a nice carry here. And you talk about the Cougars being deep at quarterback, deep at receiver, deep at running back. We talked about last week. 7 different guys carried the ball, or 6 different guys carried the ball last week. Same thing this week, and you actually add a couple extra guys in there as well.
Yeah, again, a very talented team this year, and I know the Cougar coaching staff excited about that depth. More than anything, that's what you hear around the facility, is the depth and the athleticism.
Here's Torres trying to break one off, still on his feet, and gets inside the 10-yard line for another Cougar first down. That was a heck of a run from Ja'Kai Torres that time.
I thought he was going to find a way to stay up there, put his hand on the ground. Kind of got tripped up there at the end.
I mean, Southwestern had that scouted, cut it right back up the left side of the field, right to an open area, and gets a big chunk.
Again, these guys fighting for every inch, no matter the scenario. Gotta love it.
Torres now the leading rusher in the ballgame for COC, 7 carries for 41 yards. All coming here in this fourth quarter. As he stays in there as the feature back. Inside of a minute 50 to go. First and 10 from the 11-yard line. That's where they gave him the spot. They'll hand it to Torres. He'll stay on his feet. Gets tripped up, trying to dive for the end zone. Lost the football. I think they're going to say he was down, though, reaching out. And he is down right at the 1-yard line. Should be enough for a Cougar first down and make it first and goal.
Again, you think he wants that one, Matt?
Yeah, he's trying.
He wants a big round 50 up there on the board. And it looks like he might get one more crack at it here. But
I mean, you got to imagine they let him finish it off at this point.
I would sure hope so. I mean, some strong runs. That would be a nice exclamation point on the evening.
As the Cougars' late bodies out onto the field. And with 1:05 to go, getting one final guy back out onto the field. 4 seconds to go in the play clock. And the Cougars are going to, I think, just kneel down here, not even going to let them finish it off on first and goal from the 1-yard line. So instead of putting another one up on the board, the Cougars just going to run out the final minute and take a 43-7 win. And you'd like to see Torres finish it off, but you know what? Good tape for him. A couple of good runs, trying to dive for the end zone. Leading rusher in the ball game, 8 runs for 51 yards. The Cougars really dominated from just about start to finish here today. Nothing wrong with the performance. 384 yards. They had, I believe, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. Got to total it up here. 4 different guys get into the end zone today. I mean, it's pretty solid performance from COC all around.
Solid, and you can tell that the guys had a good time out there. This crowd had a good time. Everything was clicking. And again, Matt, it's early on, but you like the first 2 results, and now you look to build on those. Got
to build on it going into Fullerton next week. The Cougars take a 43-7 victory over Southwestern. They improve to 2-0. They win the home opener for the 2nd straight season and for the 18th time since 1998 for Jesse Munoz and the rest of our crew here at SoCal College Sports. I'm Matt Robinson. We'll see you next week here on Saturday for football against Fullerton, 6 o'clock start time. Until then, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we've got games here on the Cougar Sports Network. Check the YouTube page for live stream links and the COCathletics.com for a full schedule.
Go Cougs, this I promise.